Tips for young DJs would be patience, probably. Play the long game, don't rush into anything, and don't feel like you're having to do everything all at once. A bit of a veteran now in this scene, I guess, having touring for kind of nearly 20 years, I would say that patience is the key, you know, and have a kind of, it's not always easy because sometimes people pop off really, really quickly and things happen overnight, it almost seems. But just try and ride that wave consistently rather than too many spikes, because, you know, gradually walking up a hill is a lot more successful than, you know, jumping straight to the top and then falling back down the other side. You know? But they say, don't they, that anything that's an overnight success probably isn't an overnight success. It's been building up to that point, you know. But yeah, you've just got to be patient, which is hard because it feels like, especially with social media and people's attention spans, that everything is so reactive. Of if you don't catch people in 3-4 seconds, they're gone, you know. But yeah, I think overall patience is key with this, you know, this industry.
I want y'all to think about something for a second. DJing is truly an act from God, right? We take our two hands and our imagination and we shift the vibe in the room. We create energy, and we're also making memories memorable for all the attenders in the party. That's something that should be held sacred. DJing is an act of selflessness. It's not always about how we feel, even though we have preferences, but it's about the people. So understand this: doctors heal the body, therapists heal the mind, but the DJ heals the spirit. And it's not about clout, it's about calling. And when God calls you to help people heal through sound, that's sacred. Don't take for granted. Peace.
Creatives, you should stop making content. In fact, you should stop making art for your peers, that is. They're not your assignment and they're not your audience. You should make art for the people who love your art.
You ain't ready to put 5 years of grind into anything without making a quarter.
Right.
Don't even start. Sometimes it takes that long to get over the hump. They're not ready.
I think a lot of people go through this thing where if they share information, they're going to lose their business. They're going to lose their edge. Two things are true in this world. One, there's only one you, and nobody can do what you do, even if they try to copy you one for one. It's never the same. And then two, most people that you give information to won't actually take you up on your information. I could tell people right now how to start a business from scratch, all the pitfalls and all the things you should and you shouldn't do. And you know what? 2% will actually take my advice and use it. The rest of them either know better than me or are too lazy to make it happen.
Before it's time to spin, you've got to first cue it up.
I'm probably in your area too. Everybody who owns a laptop, they're a DJ. Everybody who owns a DSL camera, they're a photographer.
And what I'll do is put up blurbs so therefore you can see what I'm thinking about and why I chose that song. You can see the reaction of the kids. So you can kind of like get an idea of how to use it and what to expect.
Why do you want to charge for something that you have the knowledge of and these other DJs don't have the knowledge of? Share your knowledge, you know?
Right.
But DJing's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun too, you know? I'm DJ Mikey Mike. I cover central, northeastern Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, parts of New Jersey, parts of New York State.
And I'm Dwayne Dixon, the Hitman D-Dub from Cleveland, Ohio. And it's time to cue it up. Okay, what's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Cured Up DJ podcast with me, the Hitman D Dub, and my co-host DJ Mikey Mike, and our friend DJ Kev from DJK Productions.
Hey, Kev, how you doing, pal?
Hey, doing good, doing good.
That's good.
Having
that's
a little
good.
issues here. If for some reason my microphone all of a sudden goes staticky, it's the same time as my headphones, so all of a sudden, everything's going haywire here. So
Yeah, I
please
hear
bear
you.
with me. I found out if I unplug my Focusrite, plug it right back in, it goes away. But it's just developed today, this new problem, because I love problems.
You and me both, man. You and me both.
But that looks different. I'm used to you only seeing your head and the yellowish background. So what's going on?
Yeah.
Where you at now?
I'm in my, well, I can unblur here, maybe, if I can figure out how to do that. I am in my little cubicle.
Okay.
I like that.
This is my voiceover space that I created. Like I said, it's got moving blankets.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a little computer table here. And I got my microphone. And my Focusrite is behind the laptop. And I've been doing some voiceover creation, little 15-second commercials, and I got them posted on voices.com, Voices123, and Voquet.
Okay.
I don't know.
Nice.
So, this is the little area I created. Laptop. So this is my little cubicle in the basement.
Okay.
That would be like me, but I'd be in my bathroom sitting on my throne with the thing around me.
It's basically about the size, I suppose, of a shower enclosure.
Okay.
Maybe
But
a little
it's
bit bigger.
perfect, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it
sound
works.
great.
Yeah, thank you.
For those that don't know, we had did an episode over doing voiceovers, and then Kevin had some questions about starting the voiceovers. So that's what he bought since that last episode. So you see all his soundproofing behind his microphone, his what do you call that, wind popper doohickey?
Yeah, actually, this whole thing was all part of the kit from the road. I did a lot of research beyond your show. It was a well-liked microphone on the more inexpensive, so I bought it. The Focusrite was also well-liked. Got some good off of the regular price discounts through. I'm a musician's friend fan, so I got a discount, and then come to find out, I even got. I've never bought there.
No, I love CZ Sounds.
But also beyond that, I guess they put one of the items on sale, so I reached back out to my rep, and it's like, hey, you suppose you could match that in addition to what you already gave me off? She goes, let me look. Well, yeah, sure. So I got even more off my bill. So I was happy with the products. I've sent some samples out. I guess I didn't send it to you, Dwayne, but I sent some to Jeff, and let his discerning ear, because he used to be in radio, let him listen. And he said, sounds good. It just doesn't have a lot of, it's not enriched. It's all natural. But from what I read, that's what they want to listen to, so that they can analyze your voice and go, yes, that's a voice we want to hear doing whatever. So that's what I did, is, like I said, just straight up. My friend Jeff said I should practice, and this is something they did on the radio, try to practice to invoke a sound that creates energy, sadness, joy, all these things that they had to sort of create when they were doing, radio things, commercials and stuff. So it's something I'm working on. And also these programs, my own personal opinion, they are confusing,
Oh yeah.
to say the least.
Which program are you using? Yeah.
Basically, if it's free, it's me. And
Yeah.
then what they came with, Focusrite, was the basic version of Ableton and a dumbed down version of was it Avid Pro Tools?
I never
Oh,
heard
Pro
of it.
Tools. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Pro Tools. Okay.
Beyond that, I have. Well, if you want me to look, I can look here. I got Cakewalk.
Okay.
I have. What was the other one I got? Some sort of traction and something waveform.
Maybe.
Those are the ones I've been trying to figure out.
You have Audacity?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
that's,
I mean
yeah,
that's way down the line, but
yeah.
it could give you so many different effects. It's unbelievable. It could enrich your voice. It could adjust your voice like you wouldn't believe. For a free program, it's not really that bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, you sound great to me, honestly. But you listen to these singers and they sound amazing. And then when you hear them live, it's like, what happened? You know, and that is their true voice as compared to a studio voice. You know, the studio voice is so much different than their real voice.
Yeah.
One gentleman I could say that really wasn't that much different, or two singers, Steve Perry from Journey, and then Neil Diamond. I seen Neil. I was about 12 to 15 feet away from him, and he went and he started singing a cappella. I'm looking at him. I'm like, this man has such an amazing voice. You know, it was unbelievable. And Steve Perry
Doesn't need
too,
any enhancements. Yeah.
yeah, no enhancements, just boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to learn how to breathe and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, this whole road assembly was all included. It was all inclusive.
That's
You got the
nice.
mic, you got the pop filter, you got the shock mount and everything. The only thing I bought, and I got a gooseneck on this, and then I have a gooseneck light sort of. Well, I guess it's right here. It keeps coming down. So
Okay, I was going to ask what was that.
it's like, whoa, it's moving down. Well, I got my light sort of up there, sitting on it. It's magnetic, and I think the weight is slowly making it droop. But I moved it back out of the way. So sorry.
Because I
About
thought maybe that was your teleprompter or something.
Yeah, I got a teleprompter. Yes.
You see my head now?
You're a cat.
That's my my
Cat fur.
microphone. I have it on a newer boom, and I'll tell you that newer boom is unbelievable. I love that.
I thought my boom was broke because when I went to get it out of the box, it just sort of sprang to life and opened up.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta watch.
And it's like, dang, uh-oh. And then I was like, I can't get it to tighten down and stay in position. But I guess once you put some weight on the end, it becomes manageable. And I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, because I'm used to the little weenie one that's got the two little springs on each side.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And this one has, I think, a pre-bent coiled steel in it that just wants to, right, like I said, when I didn't have anything on it, it just stretched out, you know, as straight as it could go. Luckily, I wasn't in position where it whacked me in the head.
I was just gonna say you're lucky, very lucky there.
They don't really warn you that that's under tension or that much tension.
And you won't find that on YouTube either. You know.
So.
But I'd like to welcome. I see Will is in the chat as well as DJ Cool Thing.
Hello, Will, and hello, Cool Thing.
And let's see, what do they have? They said, Cool Thing said, hey, Kevin. And then Will said, what's up, guys?
Hello. Hey, cool guy.
Yep. And then Cool Thing said, awesome setup. Kevin, I love my Focusrite. And then he says he has the Scarlett 212. So
I went with, because I wasn't going to do any kind of beyond vocals. I just went with the solo. I didn't need the extra plugins, so.
all right. And then Will, let me see. Let me see.
Oh, Will said, you know, the sunglasses. I don't have them on tonight, Will.
Oh.
I
Check
saw
your
a little bit of that on, what was it, Monday night? You guys were, or you were glassed up?
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize you were on there. I think I was with Matt and Eric, and all of a sudden it popped in, and I went over and caught a little bit of it.
It's amazing. Like now I'm looking, camera straight here right in front of me. My monitor's right behind the camera. But how much difference sunglasses make. Because you could actually, you don't have to turn your head, but you could look this way. I could see my monitor over here. I could look straight ahead. Yeah, but you can't see my eyes. But now, with no sunglasses on, you can see where I'm looking, you know?
Yeah. Those are the kind of glasses you wear when you go to the baseball or football game so you can check out the girls without them knowing you're checking them out.
But after the game, you look like a raccoon, you know?
Yeah. Golfers have that look an awful lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. God, yeah. That's one sport I never got into. I can't see hitting a ball around for 18 holes and chasing it. I want to hit a ball, have somebody catch it and throw it back in, and have the pitcher throw it back to me and hit it again, you know?
Sounds like in the past life, maybe you were a dog and you were used to retrieving. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back.
All right. So let's jump on into our show.
Okay.
And our podcast is a podcast for all DJs of all walks of life and skill levels, where we come to connect, learn, and grow. From pro tips to real talk, we're here to support and celebrate the DJ community. So last week, the key takeaways was the importance of studying successful DJs and learning from their styles without copying them outright. And then also remember that success leaves clues, but being an individual is essential. So tonight's episode is DJ skills debate, DJs versus KJs. So I got a message or a question or a request, however you want to put it, on YouTube from a video that I did a while back. It was this one, and I didn't realize how much people had watched it. It was this one, the one about my karaoke setup. And when I was going through getting ready for the show, I didn't realize 18,000 people saw it. And then I had like 324 thumbs up, because it's like I did it and forgot about it. And it's just like what I always says. It seemed like the videos that I do and don't think nothing of it, those are the ones that everybody seemed to gravitate to.
Yeah.
And the ones
Did
that
you
I tried.
do that one?
Huh?
Did you do that one before you started this show?
Yeah. This is back in 20. It says 6 years ago, 2020, 2020-ish. This is before I leveled up. This is before I think I just got my EVs. Back during that time. And then you can tell it's less gray, and then I still have a hairline. But he asked for some guidance. And so I was like, I do karaoke, but I don't do karaoke like the way that Kevin does and the guys on the KJ Chill Room does. And speaking about those guys, I'm surprised, and it seems like it's a coincidence that they just so happened to finally post the show that I kind of like.
You participated in.
Yeah. So let me see if I can get this off. Let me see without all that.
Yeah. I know it's sometimes difficult to find them, because I had a regular at one of my venues, and he sat in one night, and I found the video for him to see, and then someone just recently asked me about it, and I couldn't find it again. So they're not the easiest things to track down through djntv.com.
No, I think they have like, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll have like DJ MTV and video number 6022 on it. So you just make sure you write that number down. So this way you look up DJ MTV and then put 6024, and boom, it'll come right up. I see Will's here with us too.
Yep.
What's up, old guys? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
Yep.
Another old guy came in, so.
Look, hey, I like that behind you too, man.
Did you see that?
Cool.
Some guy gave it to me.
All right.
Yeah, but I was going to say, whoever's watching for KJ Tips, these are the guys that you really want to follow and ask questions to, because they do it for real, actually do karaoke nights at clubs and stuff and market themselves. Whereas I'm pretty much a one-timer, or KJ is more so of an add-on to my DJing thing. So there's a different mindset and a different goal for the DJ that offers KJ, and then the real KJ.
See, I did karaoke for about 7 years. Yeah, between this one bar up in Plains and then the Plains American Legion, and I filled in for the actual guy who used to do it, and that's how they started having me come in to do karaoke at the American Legion, because I did it totally different than what the other guy did, what Bernie did, and they liked the way I did it, the way I ran it, and I was like, how did he run? And then they started telling me, I'm like, oh man, wow, that sounds like a train wreck, you know?
So how did he run it? Because that's one of the sequences. But see, you like to talk, so since you want to put yourself out there, so what was the setup like?
What I did is, depending on how many people we had doing singing karaoke, say we had 20 people, we put 20 numbers in the hat, you pull the number out, that's what number you were, that's what singer you were. You sang 2 songs, we go through 3 singers, so that'd be 6 songs. Then we go back to maybe 1 or 2 regular DJ songs. Then we come back, and then we'd pick up with singer 4, 5, 6, then a couple of regular songs, or go to like a video. It worked perfect for me. Like the first singer that was first now actually becomes the last singer the next round, because the last singer becomes first. That's how it worked, and it worked out great.
Okay.
The other guy, he just let them sing. That was it. And they kept on coming up to him. All right, yeah. If people want to keep singing, they'll just keep singing, you know? It's like, wait a second, you got to give everybody an equal chance.
All right, so yeah, you basically rotate the
Yes.
KJ and DJing. Almost
Yeah.
so you're were you
A mix.
right, a KJ? Was it a KJ event, or was it a DJ event that you had at KJ?
It was a KJ event.
Okay.
But I figured, you throw 2 regular songs on or 2 videos on, it gives the people that are singing, especially if we only had a small crowd that night, it gave them time to run to the bar, get a drink, loosen up their vocal cords. And you had some really, really great singers that didn't even have to put the words up or nothing. I had a school teacher come up, and she wanted to sing Tequila. And then she asked me if I had the words for it. I'm like, really? She goes, yeah. I'm like, you don't know the words to Tequila? She goes, no. I'm like, I don't. I said, tequila. That's it, I said, I'll point my finger up when you have to say it. That's all. She's like, no, I need the words. I'm like, okay, you got them. But it was an actual karaoke event. I did it on Friday nights, and Bernie did it on Sundays. But the people that were coming to see him on Sundays they would come on Friday nights, but they were asking for me on Sundays. So what they did is they had me every Friday night and every other Sunday too. So I was like, Friday night, I leave my equipment. I had extra speakers. I left them there. I just took my control and my laptop with me back home.
Okay. So you said they picked numbers. Did you have like a request slip or something? Or how did you do that?
Yes, each singer had their own request slip, and they would come up and give it to me. And if I didn't have the song, I would explain, hey, I don't have that song by that artist, but I have this song. And, oh, yeah, I love that song. So they would sing that song. But you got used to the singer. So if you didn't have it that week, I would write it down. Then I would have it for the following week, which was, they enjoyed it. They really, really enjoyed it.
Okay, before I get to Kelvin, because Kelvin is the expert in the group. So he's a person that's going to lead us, like the way Buddy and Brian did. So my thing was, I did have a set of like request slips. It's just simple little small pieces of papers where they put down their name, the title and artist, And then I also had like a song booklet that I printed out with, because I used two programs. I start off with lyrics, which I'll talk about later. That one, you you're required to basically have the music. They had like almost like virtual DJ. You can like stream the songs, but to me it wasn't practical until I got Carafun. Carafun seemed like that was easier to pay a lower fee, but then also have a whole bunch of songs. And if you don't have it, it's still, if someone else has it and they shared it within, I guess, the community, you can use it. But going back for the show, I noticed that Carefund don't have the weekend package anymore. It's still a monthly payment that's still low. It's $9.99. But Kevin's gonna probably speak on it later on. But I noticed that there's a pro version that's way more, but there's a reason why it's way more. That's probably, if you're going to do karaoke like at clubs or at bars, you probably need to go here, and Kevin's going to speak on it later. But getting back to my point, the way I did it, once I started doing it for real or at parties or birthday parties or whatever, I just used the Request Now app. Since I'm taking song requests anyway, and the way I did my karaoke was there was a dancing part, but then we had a dedicated karaoke part. And usually the people throwing the party, they are either singers or they have a group of friends that would sing. So therefore, I didn't have to worry about showing up there and no one actually singing, because the people requesting it kind of like already, have it in their system to sing. Yeah. So therefore, we had a dedicated time slot, and leading up to that time slot, I just have people just send me a request to my Request Now app. But if they're going to sing it for karaoke, put hashtag karaoke or something, so I know what's what. Cool. So that's how I'll do it. That's cool. So Will, have you done karaoke before?
Oh my God, the last time I did karaoke, like real karaoke, was CDs. Okay, and we're talking Vocal Pro machines. I actually had a dual Vocal Pro karaoke player, and I went right to the TV, right to a monitor. That was the last time I did karaoke. It was for me, it was too much of a pain in the butt. But if like every once in a while you have somebody going, yeah, do you have karaoke? It's like, yeah, I do, and I just I go into Carafun and I put in the $10, like you said, and I'm able to have karaoke like right on the spot. So, but that's it though. I'll be the one asking the questions today also, because I don't even like. It's been such a long time that I am not schooled on karaoke. So, I'm gonna be the guy asking questions also.
Okay.
What worked out good for me is the guy who did it on Sunday nights. He also did it on Friday nights too, and he wanted a break from doing it 2 nights a week. So everything he had, he told me, just pick up a hard drive. I said, well, how big? He said, at least a 4-terabyte hard drive. I said, okay, no problem. He copied everything over that he had, so it didn't cost me anything. And it was basically all the popular songs that these people love to sing at the American Legion and at the Plains Pub.
Okay.
So it worked out great for me.
All right, so Kelvin, set us straight. I know you all have a better setup and workflow than the way that we had winged it. How would you do it?
Well, I would, Kevin, if you don't mind I'm asking, what first start off with what software you use.
First software I use right now is I'm using Virtual DJ, which I will mention now. You basically, with the newest version that was released, if you guys can run it on your computer, can make anybody into a KJ, because that can create the lyrics. Now, they might not be accurate, but it's going to keep getting better and better. And with that, having the lyrics, having the stems, pull it out, you basically can take your regular DJ MP3 music and boom, you are now a KJ. So that is a game changer. it basically makes anybody who's a specialist in the KJ field less valuable because now basically anybody can do it. You didn't have to go out and spend money or get all these different services. If you were the traditionalist like my uncle, where he had all the discs, then he's so old and traditional. He had the big thick book. I don't do the book. I use a website that is phone based. It's called Songbook DB. DB stands for database. Basically, you put all your songs in there. They can go on there, click on who you are, what venue you're at. If you got enough that you're doing different venues, they'll click on your name and what venue it is. They will look at the list of everything you got there and they make their selection right from their phone. It's sent to your phone. Now, again, you have to have Wi-Fi or they have to be able to get their cell signal through that building, which sometimes can be iffy in certain areas.
Yeah.
So that can be a problem. If I have to, then I will do paper slips. I don't usually do the paper slips. I just have them come up on a piece of paper and just sign their name and artist and song. And I've done that before I started using the Songbook DB, and I did that. So that's what I'm using program wise. You guys have mentioned Carafun. I've been to a few places to check out other people to see what they do. I'm always willing to learn and see. I sort of critique. I'm good at that. Critique other people's setups and sound issues and programs they're using. With experience of asking friends, I've asked like, "Hey, what do you think of Carafun?" And they said it's nice. The one guy that likes to do it a lot, he has said it's somewhat limited in the song selections versus what I have. I've also heard other people versus other KJs say your library is bigger than this other guys that I've been to. So as far as that goes, bigger is better. Carafun eventually is, I think, a newer animal, so it's going to be filling in sort of the back older stuff as soon as they can. Anything that's new coming out, they're going to be on top of it. Anything that's like 50s, 60s, older stuff, they're going to have to sort of backfill that to create the library that that maybe some other old school people that had the disc have. Let's see, anything else? I mean, that's
What
the
mixer?
program. Mixer, I use one that does have a little bit of reverb or echo. I did not, my original mixer is a Yamaha. So because this I consider, and it works perfectly fine for me. I have a Harbinger one that I use for them. It's one that I had to get for when I do musical artists and bands. It's a bigger one and it has the effects in it. Usually I use two mics. I originally, and I still prefer to go with wired mics. It controls where they go. I have one of those bracketed mount things where the monitor is mounted, and right behind are two little C cups where the microphones sit. And so they just pick out whichever one they want. I can go wireless, and I will on nicer events, maybe if I'm doing it more for a wedding. But I tend to, at bar situations, I really don't want to worry about my mics because I don't really have cheap ones. Although we do now have a cheaper set, thanks to Two Dudes Audio. Big shout out to them. I was a big winner, so I won a set of something from. I think they got it on Amazon. I can't remember what the Melanor or something, and it's got 4 mics. So I might end up going with that. But my mics of choice, although I will say. Am I allowed to poo-poo on a brand for not giving me a replacement mic?
No, go ahead, man.
Behringer, shame on you. I got it under warranty, and they will not. They're basically, I'll say it, dicking around, trying to get me. They wanted video proof that it's not sounding right, and I got 2 identical ones. So it's like one sounds good, one sounds like it's an auctioneer's speaker. It sounds dreadful.
Yeah.
And they're impossible to get a hold of. They don't give you a phone number. They want you to do it, email and ticket and everything. So I unfortunately will never ever buy another Behringer product again because of their disappointing return, running me around for a $15 mic. If they're going to run around me for a $15 mic, what are they going to do with something more expensive?
I have a Behringer mixer. I forget how many channels it is. I'm missing screws off the bottom of it, everything. But I use that for karaoke. I use that for everything. It has all the different effects in it. It's an unbelievable mixer. I think I paid, this is going back probably 15 years ago, if not longer. I paid like 800 bucks for it back then. And I mean, it's a big tank, but unbelievable. That's one thing they do make very well are their mixers. I had their speakers. They're good. They're entry level, but I mean they sounded good. So I went with them because that was what I could afford at that time.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't want to go crazy, and I always review everything, check to see what what people's opinions are, and they said they're not SM 58s, but they sound pretty darn good for the price. So it's like,
Yeah.
if someone does break it, I figured I'd have at least coverage for the year that it's supposed to have, but with them sort of fighting me on it,
Yeah.
they're not going to get another dollar from me. So beyond that, I do use, and this is the caveat of doing wired, is I have had someone get tangled up in my cord and pull my mixer to the floor. They were apologetic, and it's like, let me pick it up. Nope, just walk away, get out from under the cord, let me pick it up. It wasn't damaged, even though it was a Harbinger, because it's high quality plastic mixer. Everything was perfectly fine. So that is a benefit. Now, what I do when I set up, I try to make myself very compact. I try to make where I'm going to be, where the monitor's going to be, where they're going to be, so that there is no cords for them to be crossing over. So I have I usually use a table. I could use a booth, but I have the table. I'm on one side. It's sort of the opposite of the way it normally would be positioned. I have it long ways. I'm on one side, they're on the other, and then the monitor's in front of them, and then the speaker, if I can get away with it, then is at the end where I can adjust it if I need to. A lot of my situations in a bar, I don't need a second speaker. So I look janky and weird, but I just bring one speaker. It's plenty loud.
What type of speaker?
What I've found that sounds good to other people that I've been around, mine is the column speaker, the MLS 900. It doesn't have a lot of boom boom, which means it doesn't overwhelm them. It does have, it does have bass, but it's only an 8-inch, so it's not overwhelming, but it works perfectly. It's got nice high clarity, and it's got a wide throw pattern. So it works good for me. I've gotten compliments on it from some of my regulars. I know there's a person that they hired at one of the places I was doing it last winter, and one of my regulars been in there. Is like, doesn't sound very good, and he's bought the expensive brands of Yamaha and other things, JBL and stuff. And so now part of that could be he doesn't know what he's doing, because it's more than just letting them sing and taking the mic. You have to know what you're doing on the mixer, and if you don't, you're not making them sound right. You're not EQing for where they're holding the mic and the level of this background song and their volume. So there's a lot involved.
What I used to do is like person would come up to sing, and you hear him singing, and I would adjust it, and I had a little notebook. So okay, John, here's where I had his pattern down. Debbie, here's where her pattern was. James, this is where his pattern was. Jeff, this, and it was just, hey, okay, yeah, you got to look through your notebook, but so what? At least they sound. There was a bunch that sounded phenomenal, and then there was some that sounded like somebody taking their fingernails and going on the blackboard, like, oh boy, But I know you mentioned that about doing karaoke at weddings. That's one thing I refuse to do, because I did it one time, and one time was enough, because it turned out to be a complete disaster.
It ruins the night.
Yes. Yes. I mean, it was only supposed to be for like a half hour. Well, this one's saying, that one's saying this, and the cousin and I want to sing, and then the uncle want to sing. I'm like, no, done. And never again. They have asked me, I said, listen, You want your wedding ruined? We'll do it. I don't care. But I'm up in the price too, because I'm not going to be the venue house. They don't have a TV. At least where I went to do karaoke, American Legion had a big 85 or 100-inch screen TV up on the side of, well, it was off to my left-hand side. The Plains Pub had like a 65-inch TV that was off to the side of me. So they supplied it. When if I had to do the wedding and I had to supply the TV, they were asking for like a 100-inch TV. I said, listen, you're getting what I have. That's it. You're not getting a 24-inch monitor. You're going to get a 40-inch TV or a 42-inch TV. It's going to look great, but that was one and done. Never again. Because it was terrible.
Kevin, you said you do weddings. Do you find that the people that sing at weddings are really bad compared to the bar singers? Because usually the people that go to the bars to sing karaoke are usually pretty
Regulars.
good.
Yeah. They like to do it because they're proud of themselves. Although the other week I did go, one of my regulars, he invited me to the local show, and they had a young lady in there, and she was pretty rough. She was probably the roughest one I've heard, and I think she was supposed to get up one more time before the end of the night, but I think the guy wanted to leapfrog her because it was a slow night, and too much of a bad thing is a bad thing. So
yeah.
But it ended up she got to sing. So I don't really, for the most part, I don't end up doing really karaoke at weddings. I offer it because I look at it this way: if that's what's going to make their night, I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to withhold it from them. If they want that, just like my friend that I was talking to, Matt of the KJ group, he's going to do a wedding, and he's talking to an older couple that are getting, I think, remarried. At least one of them is. So they're doing it at their house, and he does KJ primarily, almost exclusively. So it's like, he asked, it's like, yeah, this is a very chill vibe. So it's the kind of thing, this is one of the things I ask for a wedding. What your clientele is, what your age is, and what's the vibe you're going for. Is it more like a family get together where you're doing a wedding, broke out, and that's based on when I saw them. It's like, oh, okay, I get what's going on. So, so he's been asked to do karaoke there. Now I have offered, like I said, I offer it. Most people like, oh, that's interesting, but I don't get anybody to hit me up on it. I do offer trivia, and I have had a lot of, oh, tell me more. And so I've gone into more detail with that. So I'm trying to differentiate myself than every other person. And by offering that, I feel it might benefit me. Also, back to the list, I have Songbook DB. If for some reason they don't have a phone, I will do paper. If they want to look at my list without signing into that program, or if they're having issues, my website does have the listing of all my songs available to me. All you have to do is just click on the download under the karaoke site, or the karaoke section on my menu of choices, and you can download the list and sort of look at it at your leisure at home. And it's like, oh, I'll write these down, So I do have that.
How long are your reception hours usually, Kev?
Total reception times usually 4 hours, or 5.
Because when I'm doing a wedding, I just want to concentrate. You have cocktail hour, introductions, dinner hour, and then usually by the time people, you got your toast and your specialty dances. So usually by the time you start dancing, you usually have like 2.5 hours of dancing. And then if they want to do the garter and bouquet, which is basically dead now, but the bouquet, the bride likes to just turn around and give it to somebody. I have a lot giving them to their mom or whoever. The dollar dance, most weddings, they want that. So when you break all that down, you have like an hour and 45 minutes of dancing. So if you're throwing in Trivia. I mean, I could see like Brian, um, Buddy, their receptions last for till 11, 12 o'clock. That would be something different, but to do it in a 5 hour reception, I I wouldn't do it. It's
Are
just too
are
hard.
you
You can
are you
do it
talking
during.
about
You
trivia
can.
or karaoke?
Yeah.
Trivia, like you said, you're
Okay. Trivia,
uh,
I
I was,
do that during the cocktail.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was going to say. You do that during the
Yeah.
cocktail and then the
Yeah.
downtime.
Because they're basically bored out of their skull, so you give them something entertaining to do.
I'll tell you
It's a
the
game.
receptions I do. These people ain't bored. They're at that bar. They're boom,
Right.
boom.
So you figure karaoke, the only times that it'll work at a wedding would be cocktail hour or maybe like an after party, like somewhere in the
Yeah.
building where they have like a little room or a bar or something. Maybe after the wedding, they could all meet up there and do karaoke there.
Yeah.
That's the only way I think it'll work.
Hmm.
I've done karaoke at some Christmas parties, and they wanted to do it towards the end. That's when everybody's
Drunk.
having a good time. They got some alcohol in them, and we got the I think the plant manager, he participated, and a few other people. So it's like I don't want to take something that I can offer, and if it makes a difference between booking with me and booking with someone else, then I'm not gonna turn it away. Now there is a little bit of a price bump for that extra equipment. Trivia is more, especially if I'm doing trivia that I have to create. If it's already pre-made, then there's not so much involved. But anything that's above and beyond is extra. I strive to be the extraordinary DJ, not just the ordinary DJ. So, um, now as far as equipment goes, like I said, if you want to make it simple, the most basic stuff is if you're already a DJ, all you really need is just a monitor and you already got microphones. So usually that's, and a library. But like I said, if you're using Carafun, your library's right there. If you're using virtual, you can convert your regular DJ music.
Yeah.
I wouldn't try to convert a remix one. I would stay with the original. So if you don't have the originals in your library, I wouldn't try playing with the remixes and all those other ones.
Does virtual DJ
People
have karaoke also? Like they
Yeah.
could
they
subscribe?
have a what is it, Digi something or something down at the bottom, but I think it's very limited in what is available through that.
Well, you could sign up for their services too. I think that's like $49 a month.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Digitrax Pro Karaoke.
Yeah. I guess the question is and this is the other thing. If you're old school and you have it with you, you're okay. You don't need internet. Because I'm out in the middle of a lot of empty area. So if you're in an area where you need internet and you don't have it, you are in a pickle if you're using Carafund.
Yeah.
If you already have your library, which I do, my own personal library, I have that. Now the other thing is if you're using Carafund, that $50 gives you the license to do that. But still, if you're at a wedding, you're okay. But if you're doing it at a bar or any kind of a public accessible situation, it's not on you, but I guess you have to decide how much information you want to provide to them. They need to have the performance license for that venue because karaoke is considered the same as having a singer or the same as playing music that's from the original artist. So if that's something that they don't have, you can ask them and they go, nope, we don't have it. It's like, okay, it's on you, or you can just be silent. And if they come for them, they're coming for them. But I don't know. I guess I wouldn't want to be caught in a crossfire. They might want to start poking around in your regular music library, and making sure. So, it's one of those things you got to watch out for.
Yeah. That's the truth. So
So,
How do you go from the laptop to the mixer? How do you go? Is it sound card or are you directly from the headphone jack?
I'm used external little sound card. It was made by, let's see, what's the sound card? Can't think of what it is. It's just an eighth into the quarter inch on my mixer. and I don't use because I use virtual DJ just for that. I am a user of a different program for DJing music. So basically, my setup, the way I do it right now, is I have a laptop I do for karaoke, and the other laptop is my, as some people say, bumper music, or my music that I play in between singers.
Okay.
As far as what I do when they're singing, virtual DJ has a library or a queue spot. So basically, when the song comes in, I put it in there, put in their name, and I try to make it even. So if someone's been up and they come in at the first of the night and they've sung like 4 or 5 times, and I'm in the last half hour and there's a bunch of people that came in brand new, I want to make sure they at least get one shot at singing. I'm not going to be able to catch them up, but I want to make sure. So I will bump those up sooner. I try to pay it as fair as I can. It's just, someone that comes in at the end of the night, I'm going to at least get them in there once, because otherwise I go, well, this stunk. I didn't get a chance to sing. So I want them to have a chance. The other thing I might be different is when they come up, I want to have a little friendly banter with them. Some of the guys I've been around, they don't do that. All right, Nick, it's your turn. And then they just wait for him to come up. That's it. Me,
They're
I'm
dry.
also advertising the place. I'm letting them know about specials. I'm promoting them. The other thing I do is I have some witty little things I do, little ditties I do when they come up. So some of the other guys, Eric and Matt, they just play bumper music, upbeat kind of stuff. If it's a slow night, I bounce between, playing music that'll maybe get them on the dance floor, the few that are there, because there's some people that just want to watch other people sing. It's sort of like wanting to watch a NASCAR race for the wreck, or watching hockey for the fight. They're watching it for the train wreck and how bad the singing is. It's like the American Idol. They're looking for the next not Don Ho, what was his name? The shebang,
Yeah.
they're looking for that. So, once all the karaoke singers are done, I move on to dance music. Now, some of the KJs I know, and I ask one of them point blank, is like, what do you do when there's no one up to sing? I go up and sing. I don't sing. That's not my thing.
No,
that is one thing I will tell you. The night is for them. It's not for me. So I don't even do that. But it's like, dude, what do you do when you're, if no one's, I guess he just keeps singing. I don't think he plays music. I've never seen him have to play music, but I don't know that he's willing to play music. So, I mean, all the places I do it, especially early in the night, usually it's people not coming in yet. So you're just playing, music for the crowd. You're checking out, the age of the people and trying to fit in what they look like they might like. And so
How do you handle like a room or a bar where it's kind of small and they got you like in the corner or something and you got to put the speaker kind of near you? How do you handle feedback?
I don't really have much feedback issues. I think that's part of the 900 speakers. They have such a wide throw pattern. I basically have the speaker, and either the monitor is a little bit in front of them, but to the side, and then they're right beside that. And it fires wide enough that I don't have a problem. Now, my friend, he likes to go to a Legion they're doing it on their own. So they have no experience. They were having feedback all the time because they had their back wall. They had the speakers against the back wall. They had the guy in between the two speakers at a table, and then the singer with two microphones in front of that. And it's like, gee, you think you're going to have a problem? Yes, they have feedback issues. I look at it this way, is if you can take and visualize the microphone as a bow and arrow, and if you can visualize the speakers as your target, and if you could shoot it and hit the speaker, then you're probably in the no-no zone. It's like, so I told him, it's like, they really need to, and they're using two-way cabinets, which doesn't help because that's one of the reasons why the array or column speaker is better, because it throws it so wide, it's not got the intense beam of sound that a traditional speaker has. So because it's throwing it wide, I've actually got a picture where I had my two column speakers probably about 6 feet apart at a wedding I did up on the island up in Lake Erie. And the officiant was standing right between them, and then the bride and groom were right in front of him. No feedback. Because again, it's such a widespread pattern, so it's not got the intensity. I had no problem. So I
think
really
if,
don't.
if I was to do what you guys do, I would get those like digital mixers that do the feedback. Like Mike has. I think
Yeah.
Mike has one of those.
Thump does that as part of their sort of built-in system, but I don't really have problems.
Mike, you
Even
scan those, right, Mike?
Was that?
Yeah, it does like a scan or something. It blocks.
Yeah, my
certain-
my mixer, the QSC Touch Mix 8, it does a complete scan. You could stand right in front of the speaker, you will not get 1 ounce of feedback
Would
at
you have
all.
to like talk into the microphone and it scans as you're talking or something like that, and it blocks out certain frequencies so it doesn't?
Yeah, well, what you do is you do a scan wizard. You don't even have to talk into it. It's just you just start walking around the room, and if you're going to get feedback there, it'll pick it up and boom, it'll silence it. It's amazing what that mixer can do.
How much is that now? Like 1,000?
QSC Touch Mix 8, I think, is about 1,600.
Wow.
That one stayed up in price. The Touch Mix 16 came down to about 1,000. I don't know why the 8 is still extremely high, and the 16 was actually higher than it in price, and then all of a sudden just started dropping, and I think the last price I seen was about $900.
Yeah, it's definitely an
But
investment.
the 8 is still 1,600. It's like, wow, how come that ain't coming down? You know, it just it amazes me. And then also I use if I'm doing karaoke, most of the time I'll use my QSC speakers, and they have great sound coming out of that, and that will also, there's an anti-feedback on that too, so there's another plus there too for that.
Kevin, you ever get like a lot of drunks and stuff, and they get nasty to the point where you just gotta like, you're like, I'm done. That's it.
Yeah. I get, it depends on the place. And what happens is certain places, like the Kin and Kilt, where I was at, it was a axe throwing place. It was very high end. They didn't really have a rough crowd, so I had no problem there. The other bar I was at, it had sometimes the one thing they did, and that was supposed to help. They moved me from weekend to a Thursday. So they didn't want, I guess, because that's when it gets a little rough there. This bar is known as, I don't know, a fighting kind of bar. It's a biker bar, but, you know, so they didn't really want that going on then. Usually on the weekends, they brought in a DJ. So that's why they had me on Thursday. I occasionally would get some people a little bit drunk. Now, the problem with the drunk people, they can't operate a phone to save their lives. So that's when you run into a problem with that songbook DB thing. Luckily, there was enough people there, especially if my regular was there. He would give them a tutorial on how to get it set up. Or someone that was one of the regulars. Usually you got a regular crowd, so they knew everybody knew everybody. And they would just put it on their app. It's like, okay, this is Leroy, and, you know, but this is under Amy's account or something to that effect. So I didn't really have a lot of issues. My biggest issue one time was the app was acting up, and so I was having so much trouble that I let some people write it on paper, and some people were using the app, but then they were getting all complaining because I was crossing off. And it's like, well, some are on the app, so don't just look at the paper and say I should be next. So I try to If I'm going to go one way or the other, I'm going to do it that way. I'm not going to do both. But as far as drunk issues, I really haven't had it. The guy that pulled my thing down was maybe a little bit drunk. My biggest issue one time was I had a drunk at a bar and knocked out my front tooth. So that wasn't even there. So I do not trust people now, though. And I do have rules. Don't bring the drink up here to my equipment. Flat out no.
Yeah.
Leave it where you're at. Come up here, empty-handed. So.
Well, I see we got a bunch of people in the chat there. Yeah.
Yep, we
Shuffle
had the
couple.
shuffle couple came in, and I think that was the last one I saw. Yeah, they've been going back and forth. Because I was going to ask Kevin, now that we have a
Yes.
moment, being that you're a DJ, which does that help you with your karaoke, or which one do you think they, like I know for me doing a karaoke set, because I'm a DJ, if it's slow, I know how to keep things moving and rotating. Do you think by being both, did that help one in one area than the other?
I try to, well, usually what I do is I figure out if I'm primarily doing karaoke, what are they singing? So from what they're singing, I know if there's no one wanting to sing at that point, I know what kind of music they're probably going to want to listen to. Like, okay, the one bar that I did, everybody up there was coming up singing country or some sort of rock song. So it's like, okay, they're not singing the pop songs, the newest ones out. Okay, don't go there. Go what they're singing, but just don't play the one that they've already sung. So it sort of helps to figure out what you want to play during that dead time when no one's singing. As far as what I do, like I said, I'm more on total fairness. I know some KJs, and I'm not going to throw them under the bus, but some of them like to try to create a higher energy increasing as the night goes on. Well, you can't really do that if they're not giving you songs that'll allow that. So, and then if you're doing that, you're picking favorites. And I don't really feel that that's right. So I stick to the rotation. It's like I said, now if someone comes in, yes, they get bumped in and up in front, so that they can get it, especially if I'm told I'm still quitting at the regular time. Because there's been times where it's like, hey, we got quite a list. You open for another hour? It's like, you open to pay me? Yeah, I'll go it. I don't have a problem. So it does help reading the karaoke to learn when I need to DJ. I don't know that the karaoke really helps so much on DJing, other than maybe there's a song that you had forgotten that's like, oh, yeah, I love that song. That's someone sung that. I'm going to remember that and for DJing, at another event. So, I mean, they can mutually help each other because it's just a natural. Now, I will say karaoke, you're going to get primarily more of the most popular songs out there. And I try to recommend certain songs for certain people. Like if you can't get high, don't try to sing a high song. I mean, yeah, you can move the key and move it up, but it's like, it doesn't work you. Like my friend, he's a Johnny Cash kind of voice. So that's his thing. Me, if I sing, I don't want to sing like We Didn't Start the Fire. I had a group that sang that. I was scared for them. They knocked it out of the park. They were great. I was like, wow, way to go. And again, I like to have fun. It's like, hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like them at your event, I'm their booking agent. I only take 50%, So like I said, I like to have fun. So I like to joke. I like to banter with them. And that's my thing. It's like, I'm not just going to sit there. It's like, next. I like to banter with them. One of the things I'll do. So I'll say, hey, is this your first time doing karaoke? Yes. Okay. All right, everybody out there, I want to make sure that they know to applaud at the end of the night or at the end of their song, because this is the first time. They're probably very nervous, and I'll even have fun with like, well, oh my gosh, we're going to be cutting up your karaoke virgin card tonight. Kind of something like that. So I like to have fun with them and joke with them and learn about them and, and entertain beyond
What's
that.
harder? What's harder, to DJ or to do karaoke, in your opinion?
All right, sorry. I'm still having issues with my
Right. Is giving me grief. Maybe I can try turning this off. Let's see. That
That
helps.
sounds good there.
All right. Because I was getting static. I don't know, for some reason. I think personally, because you're not really doing a whole lot other than just taking the requests. I think KJing is just extremely simple. As long as you know how to run the mixer and adjust volumes, because I'm one of those ones. This is a show we did a discussion on. Are you a set it and forget it, KJ, or are you always adjusting? I'm always adjusting because some people have the mic cupped up here, inside their mouth almost, and other ones have it down at their belly button. Now, yes, Mike did say, I don't go to the extreme of, I'm writing down, where all the settings are. I just know certain ones are more robust. And so it's like, okay, I'm going to be bringing that one down. Other ones that I've never met before, I sort of just play it by ear. And as soon as they start singing, I'm adjusting. So I know one of the guys, he likes to go out into the audience and sort of hobnob with them. Well, the problem with doing that is if you're out there hobnobbing with them while someone else is singing, then that means you're really not, making sure they're sounding great all the way from beginning to end. So I don't usually get up and leave my post, sort of like, Buckingham Palace, I'm there and, not stoic, but I'm at my post all the time. So I will pop up and take some pictures because I'm always up for a nice photo op with some of the singers I've had there. And also if there's someone dancing while someone's singing, that's like the magic, like you've hit a home run, because you got someone that's enjoying the song singing and there's other people out there dancing into that person singing. So that's Shangri-La kind of thing. So,
What I did, American Legion and the Plains Pub, the Plains Pub had a different crowd that came in than the American Legion, but both places, I didn't, the first couple times I'd call them by their regular name. Then all of a sudden I started giving them nicknames. And there was an elderly gentleman. He just passed away not too long ago. He was, I think, 93 or 94 now, but we call him Bouncing Bob. That was the nickname I gave him. So that went over to Bernie, who was DJing. He started calling him Bouncing Bob. But what I suggested, the American Legion and also to the Plains Pub, once a month give out a prize, right? But you have to be here. Say, okay, I was doing it Friday night. You have to be here every Friday night for the next 4 weeks, and you get ranked. And we'd have the people give them a ranking, and then that 4th week, if you won the prize, it might have been like a $20 gift certificate that they could use at the Plains Pub or use at the American Legion. And they had some really, really good food at the American Legion. So you got maybe, say it was a $30 gift certificate. So now, okay, we're going to get pizza and we're going to get this and this and this. So it worked hand in hand with the American Legion and also with the Plains Pub. They got a gift certificate from there. They were noted for their wings. So, okay, they didn't have to spend the money, but they were coming every Friday night to sing, and they were spending $10, $20, $30 every Friday night. So it was, it worked out better for each establishment than just getting that one $30 gift certificate. But it gave them such a great feeling to win something. And we tried not to have the same people winning over and over because honestly, there are some singers that were amazing. I mean, truly amazing. They wouldn't even look at the lyrics or nothing. They just, boom. The one guy was Johnny, and he could sing like you wouldn't believe. Then him and Debbie would do a duet together. They never looked at the lyrics. It was just flowed right out of them, And I seen a couple shuffle. They said they the bride wanted to do karaoke at a wedding, but then when she seen the dance floor was all packed, she just scrubbed it. That that's what, like, when a bride and groom asked me, "Hey, do you do karaoke?" And I tell them, it's your wedding. You want people to relax, enjoy, and have fun, and be dancing and everything. If you get somebody up there that sings, that's, you're gonna have the bride or the groom say, "Man, my uncle, he is phenomenal," which he may be. But then you're gonna get somebody that cannot sing, and you cannot tune them in to sing, sound half. I mean, a quarter as good as what that last person sound like, and then you have people making fun of them or laughing at them, and it just ruins their wedding night. So that's why I always tell the bride and groom, let's just keep it.
All right.
That's it.
So let's
Do
go
away
into
with
the
that.
chat because we got our 10 o'clock people coming in.
Yeah.
So I see Adrian Eves in the house. I see Buddy
Hello,
snuck
Adrian.
in. Let me see, who else did I miss?
You see cool things. They haven't won yet.
Yep, I saw the Shuffle Couple was number 1 at first.
Yeah. DJK Production Buddies number 3.
Yep. So, but they had some good questions in the chat. So, the Shuffle Couple had asked, "How often do you refresh your karaoke songs?"
You mean refresh as in a new batch?
Yeah, or go like
Okay.
like the way we download new music and stuff.
Oh, okay. The way I'm getting them right now is roughly about once a month. I can, if I need to rush one, I can do that, but I just usually, for the most part, I really don't get a lot of people wanting to sing the really newest stuff. It's more, like I said, it's more traditional, older song classics, like a lot of people want to dance to. I did get like that the Apata, the APT, Bruno, and can't think of it. I did have a group singing that one, but I already had that one. So, but mine update roughly monthly.
Okay, and then he also, the Shuffle Couple also asked, "What are your something about 4 oops moment?" It disappeared on me. It moved. It was like, "What are your 4 biggest oops moment at a gig?"
Well, I guess someone pulling my pulling my mixer off. That's sort of a oops. I didn't like that. Every once in a while, I don't know. I swear there's like gremlins get into the program and sort of reset virtual. And it's like, well, how did it get to doing this when it wasn't doing that when I shut it down? So that's a couple times I swear that it's like it's sort of like done a default on me and moved back to what it was original setup.
Do you have internet on your computer when you do the karaoke, or do you take the internet off?
I keep everything off. I don't want extra pull on this, so I keep everything off because everything I'm getting is what I already got. The situation I'm in right now is my karaoke is a separate external drive. My primary computer, which is the one I'm set up right now, is internal with regular DJ music. So I do really want to mix the two because then it just adds more burden to this one if I go with this one. The other one doesn't have the space. And this one, it's like, nah. And if I did put it on this one, I would just use the external. But like I said, currently I'm using 2 different programs. I use Virtual for karaoke, and I use a different one for my standard just DJ.
What do you use
music
for your
playing.
standard DJing?
I like mix.
Now, Brian asked Fred to use that too for the lines. Him now he's over to virtual DJ.
Yeah.
I see my buddy Pretty Boy's in the house, and Buddy asked a question. Don't stop. Not a question, but basically a statement. Don't stop. Don't stop believing by Journey. That's probably one of the most requested songs. Honestly, when I was doing karaoke, very rarely would you get a Journey song requested because
It's hard.
it's so hard to get close to Steve Perry. I mean, it's next to impossible, basically, especially just for people
Yeah.
coming out doing karaoke.
It's
Most people,
yeah. It's one of
most
those
people,
ones where it's the voice
Yeah.
It's like, do you want to even try to touch that? It's like, no.
Neil Diamond, definitely country. People love to sing country.
Yeah.
That and
I think it's
classic
because it's
rock.
slower and it's easier to do.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I find it's the hardest? Rap.
I got people like to do that two zigzag song.
I had a person sing Rapper's Delight, the long
that's
version.
hard.
He did it without any words.
Really?
He just boom. I'm like, oh my God. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this guy is phenomenal. I was just like,
It's not easy.
It's like a 14-minute song, and he sang all 14 minutes. I was like, wow.
You don't realize how hard rap is until you try it.
I had him actually come to the American Legion, and they were, oh, well, we don't do rap for karaoke. I said, listen, this karaoke is open to any form of any genre of music. So yeah, when he came in and he asked to sing it, and I put it out for him when he started, and then he went around the bar, everybody went nuts because he was so dang good. It was unbelievable.
He was on point.
Oh yeah, he was dead. Boom, right there.
And Dan said his go-to song is "What's Up" by 4 Non-Blondes.
Yes.
That one,
yes.
My first wedding after the pandemic. That's the one. That's the only time I played a song more than one time. I ended up playing it four times, 3 times. And then I'm thinking that it would die out, but then they was requesting one more song. I just said, heck, since you love What's Up, What's Up, I just put it on, and they sung it just as loud as the first time.
Yeah, that's a great song. The lady who cuts my son's hair and my wife's hair, Alicia, I knew her before she had her own business, and she would come into the Plains pub and she would sing that song. You swear it was the singer singing it. That's how good she is at doing it. I mean, like I say, you got some people that are phenomenal, and then you got some, it sounds like fingernails going down the chalkboard. It's like, yay,
I could see like Paradise being like the hardest like song by Meatloaf. Paradise by the Dashboard. Like, how do you? That's like half an hour you're singing that song.
That's a little over 8 minutes long, but you do get that break with what do you call it, the scooter, and they're talking, so you have a little break, but you also have to have, it has to be a duo. You have to have a female and you have to have a male singer. I had some guys do it by themselves. I had some ladies just do it by themselves, but if you have a guy and a girl, it works out really good for them.
Hey Kevin, at weddings we get fed during dinner. Do you guys get free food when you're doing karaoke?
For me, I get, well, one place, what was it? One of the places said, oh, well, yeah, you can get drink. Well, we're going to give you one. And it's like, oh, I just want a Coke, Oh, open tab, and that. So I was like, woohoo. So that for me is, every place will give me cola. I don't
What
like
about food? You bring your food with you, or?
I have gotten a little bit of food at the end of the night because there was a patron in there that was a big spender. It's like, hey, put him up, give him a sandwich. So, he was the reason we stayed an extra hour one of the nights. So, he was having a good time. So I got a sandwich there. I don't make that part of the deal. And just because I have a touchy stomach at times, I don't want to risk having a reaction. It's to the point now where a lot of times I get a little scared just at weddings. I will make sure I'll eat something bland at home that won't give me a grief, because I have had a grief. That's one of the bad things about being a single op out there on the road. If I gotta go, I gotta go. So take it away, autoplay, until I can come back. So I try not to tempt fate. So I don't ask for food. And I also, because I'm there to make money, I don't really, and hopefully they're not offended, but I don't really want to turn around and buy food, when it's like, okay, I'm looking for X amount of dollars. Now I'm going to be X minus 15, 10, 20, whatever for something food. And the whole idea is to make money, especially now, because things are a little slow for this area.
You have a tip? You have a tip jar?
Tip jar,
As far as the tip jar goes, I'm cool with that.
have done a tip jar at the places. The one place, I appreciate her. She was going around and bringing me wads of ones and sticking it in this large white, I don't know, old school milk carton tin or something. And the other ones, I had something a little bit smaller. But for the most part, I really didn't get a lot. I got more when I was working a bar as a DJ regularly, and there I would actually stay longer. They didn't ask for more money, but it's like, hey, there's people in here now. I guess I didn't know better, but so I stayed extra there, and I made more tip money, which I figured it was just gas money to get back home.
Biggest tip you ever gotten?
Biggest tip, it won't be for karaoke. It'd probably be $80 for DJing at a bar.
I DJ at a wedding, and what I charged for the wedding was X amount, and the tip that I got from the bride and groom and the parents of the bride and the parents of the groom was actually more than what I charged for the wedding, which was just about $2,300. So I got like almost $2,800 tip.
I got you guys beat. I got a $500 tip for a house party, and the wife got pregnant that night.
Oh boy.
I'm telling you right now. Because the next time I did a party for the family, there was a little 3-year-old, 4-year-old girl walking around with the couple. And they're like, yeah, that happened that night. We're like, okay. So I got a good tip, and I created a human being. So it was all because of me.
You have the ability to make people procreate.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It was a hell of a house party. It was in a basement of a huge mansion. Mm-hmm. And I think she was turning like 30 or 35 or something like that. They got hammered. Like the whole crew just got hammered. There's about 50 people in that basement.
Well, they got hammered, and so did she.
She got hammered.
She was pour some sugar on me at the end of the night, like around 11 or 12 o'clock at night. And thank God I had my phone, because I forgot what they asked for, and I played it. And the guy at the end of the night just comes up to me and goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, $500, and handed it to me. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, all right. Even though I had to carry equipment up the steps, at the end of the night, I was like, oh, I'm happy.
It's funny they didn't ask for a Quiet Riot. Come on, feel the noise. You know.
It was good. Right. It was good.
All right, so let's move on to our last round, because you two like to hijack people's shows, and I don't not want to be on here for another 3 hours trying to do our show. But there's competition in the leaderboard because everybody's trying to move up. I know Cool Thing.
I see that.
Yeah, earlier had said he likes Elvis Presley because he has that Elvis voice. Another one.
I'll sing Elvis.
Thank you very much.
And then I know Diego somewhere has said he doesn't eat at his gigs because he's scared of having to do that number 2.
That was my problem.
Yeah. And then I have food allergies. That's the last thing I want to do. Because, when I did that fireworks show, I thought I had my Pepto-Bismol because it was in the pink little container. And I took some Benadryl instead. So 4 hours into that fireworks, I couldn't figure out why I was so sleepy.
Like, what was so sleepy?
Yeah, so that's why I try not to eat.
I always take what do you call especially if it's a long gig, Imodiums. Take 2 Imodiums, but then I'm done for 3 days. You know?
I have done that. If I just feel any little bit of pang and pain in my stomach, is like, just gonna play it safe.
And then someone said 500 tip is nice. Oh, Diego said a 500 tip is nice. And he just got here and he's in number 3 already. I wonder
come
how
on,
he
Diego.
does that. He has a cheat code to always move up quickly.
Pretty boy, come on, man. Cool things are underway with the show here.
But that's okay, because I still have the belt from Monday night.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was giving me a run for my money.
Did you get that at the is it the Halloween or Spirit of Halloween after sale?
I got it when WWE took over WCW, and they was busy. They chopped down all the WCW stuff there.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it was the night that Vince was supposed to have bought WCW, but it ended up being Shane McMahon because they were in Florida and Raw was in Cleveland. It was that night.
Okay.
So our next segment, this is an interactive segment. So since I forgot that St. Patrick's Day was coming, so I was like, shoot, I had to throw in some St. Patrick's stuff. So let me get this going. We're going to do our spin the wheel because it's been a while since we did our spin the wheel. Our spin the wheel St. Patrick's Day edition. So let's.
Speaking of drunk people.
Yeah, it'll be about drunk people in here too. So let's spin the wheel and see what question are we going to answer, talk about. All right, the craziest St. Patrick's Day DJ gigs. So how many people have ever DJ'd on St. Patrick's Day?
Well, are you specifically saying St. Patrick's Day or a St. Patrick's Day event?
Yeah.
Let's keep it an event because I never DJ'd on St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
It's scary.
I'm Irish.
I have done a St. Patrick's Day event. Was it on St. Patrick's Day? No. Actually, I haven't done a lot because I guess, I don't know, I'm not into the bar scene as much, and it's not something I do. Mine were extremely not worth mentioning. It was nothing wild, nothing crazy, nothing awful. It was very bland.
The last one I did, this gentleman went to buy a drink for a girl, and the young lady, and she said, "No, I'm here with my fiance," and he said, "No, I'm buying you a drink," and she said, "No, I'm here with my fiance." She turned and walked away from him, and he pulled her by the hair. Next thing you know, the fiance comes, tackles the guy, and this other guy jumps in, and they both start beating on that guy, and I was like, oh boy. I looked down, and the gentleman who's getting beat up has a weapon, pistol, in his right in the front of his jeans shirt. I'm like, gun, and man, they got up, they took off, and I'm like, all right, I'm not afraid because I have my 357 with me. But he got up and he's like, Mike, I'm sorry. You know, he knew me personally. I'm like, dude, why are you carrying a piece with you in this little bar? It's a little corner town bar. You know everybody, I know everybody. And you just ruined the night. And he's like, well, it's not loaded. I said, well, you know, dummies like you that carry a gun that's not loaded, you're the reason people should not have weapons. And they shouldn't allow you to have a weapon because you're bringing a weapon to a friendly bar. And then if people see that, and if somebody else has a gun, like my gun, he goes, well, is yours loaded? I said, here it is. Synthetic hollow points. He's like, oh. I said, you have to be an idiot to go out without a gun. You know, go out with a gun with no bullets in it. I'd rather go out with a baseball bat, you know, like, and that was the last time I DJ'd on St. Patrick's Day. And it's probably the last bar gigs I did.
I don't think there's enough money that you could give me to DJ on St. Patrick's event. I don't know. I can't. If you don't like drunk people, I wouldn't do it.
And they get extremely intoxicated.
I guess. Are you going to answer too, Dwayne?
I never DJ'd on a St. Patrick's Day, so
Me either.
I guess tied into this question, is St. Patrick's Day the worst holiday to DJ at?
that was one of the questions on the wheel.
Oh, on the wheel. I'm sorry.
Wheel
I
of
didn't
Death.
realize that.
Yeah, but Diego said, "Did you play Eye of the Tiger, Mike, when they were fighting?"
No, I didn't. I just shut everything right down. Boom. That was it. You know, I wanted everything to be quiet and get these people that were beating this guy up, get them off of him. But then as soon as I seen the weapon, I was like, yo, weapon. And that was it. Those guys got up and they took off right outside because, again, you don't know what's going to go through a person's mind. You know, unfortunately, he did have it unloaded. But the thing is,
That's
if
probably
something
why he
else,
didn't reach for it, because
Well-
it wasn't going to help him anything.
but the thing is, you know, you reach for it, you don't know if they have a weapon. If they have a weapon,
I know.
you might
They
be
could
dead.
shoot you, and you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have it unloaded. That's what I'm saying. Why bring a weapon if you're not bringing it loaded?
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm staying
You know,
home
it's like
that day.
it's like playing baseball, going up to home plate without a bat. You know, all right, we got Mike up to bat, and I'm standing up there just like this with no bat in my hand. Yeah, so it's the same thing. I mean,
I thought maybe this person was of the Barney Fife kind of ideas, like you keep your bullet in the pocket
no,
of
no.
your shirt, you know, and it's like,
I
oh,
mean,
okay, Andy, all right, Andy, I'll get that bullet out and I'll load it up. I'm ready now, Andy.
It was a revolver, and he had not one bullet in it. And I'm like, you're such a fool, such a fool. You know?
No St. Patrick's Day here.
No,
Do you think that one is the worst? I guess since I sort of screwed up, or well, spin the wheel, it might come up.
Okay.
I like how the music.
See, this
got
is
you,
unfair because we don't see the wheel. So
I see it.
Well, you have to cheat and sort of go to the YouTube channel. But there's a delay. I didn't realize there was this much of a delay.
All right. DJ versus crowd participation. So DJ, I think we spoke about this several times. The DJ being the center of attention or trying to get people, the crowd, to participate, to be more for them. So what is your thoughts on there? I guess we can. I guess this is going back to our KJ question.
Yeah, you can tie it to that.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like I said, I don't. It's not. I'm there as a host to provide a service. So my thing is, they're the ones there to be entertained. Even if I was a great singer, I don't want to be out front singing. That's not what they hired me to do. That would be something different. That would be like bringing in a band or a singer or whatever. That's not what they want me to do. And if I was there expecting to do karaoke, it's like, well, why is this guy taking all our spots? Especially if it's like busy. It's like, why is he taking away from our time? Well, that's why we're here. So as far as that goes, no, I don't.
I have a question,
I don't
Kevin.
want to do that.
The software that you use for requests, what happens when it's a duet?
Usually they put their both names in there, and actually it says right on there a duet. Also, the songs, a lot of them, but not all of them, will have two different colors. So it'll come up on the screen, and it'll say like the girls usually is in pink, and the boys is in blue. So they'll each take a mic, and then they know what to sing.
Okay.
There's some songs that aren't really a duet, but they'll sing them as a duet. So, but that's how the songs are on the songbook DB. It actually says in parentheses, it says duet. So they sort of know. That was one of the things we didn't really get into that, is ideas beyond just doing KJ. Some of my ideas was, maybe start out with, hey, there's the glasses. Now he's
Oh,
gonna
the
go to
glare. Oh,
Hello.
he's getting the glasses. As long as he can keep his head propped up, now he can go to sleep.
Yeah, I know. Then now
He
you
just
hear
needs
me
something to keep
snoring.
his head
we won't be able to tell that he's sleeping with those sunglasses.
One of the things was like, an introductory first time coming up, you're a little nervous, free drink on the house, or maybe 50% off. I have done some things where I'm starting at a new place. I got a Burger King crown. I wrote on there Karaoke King, and we had like a competition. And so each time someone wanted to compete with the current crown holder, we did like then a applause afterward of has someone overthrown the current king of karaoke, and then we moved the crown to the next person. Some of the people liked that, and I didn't really bring it back after about a couple months so. But I did have some follow up with one of the gentlemen I happened to run across. He go, "Yeah, that was cool when you were doing that crown thing." I was like, "Oh, you enjoyed that?" I thought it was probably getting a little old, so I sort of dialed it back. So that's one of the things I did to try to liven it up. And I did have some other ideas that I threw out there, but the venue didn't really.
Where are
get
you at,
beyond it.
Kevin? Connecticut?
No, I'm in north, well, between Columbus and Cleveland in Ohio.
Yeah, it's too far from me. I was gonna get like, man, it sounds like fun. I'm gonna head over there to Kevin's.
I like what I said. What I did is I gave them nicknames. All right, now we got Jumpin' Jack coming up, and we got Bouncing Bob, and then we got who whatever, and they felt great. It gave them something to look for and said, okay, hey, we got Lisa coming up to sing, or we got Debbie coming up to sing. It's just throw that little nickname out there, and then again, um, the prize at the end of the month, it was a gift certificate for in-house gift certificate. It wasn't a $50 gift certificate to go out to just say Dick's or whatever, or Walmart. It was for if you were doing it at the Legion, you had to come all 4 weeks to sing at the Legion, and if you won, it was for the Legion. So you got whatever you got a $50 gift certificate. You can buy a hat. You can buy the whole table. You can buy drinks if you wanted to do with it. Whatever you wanted to purchase, you did. So that was something I talked over with the Legion and also the owner of the Plains Pub at that time, and they both agreed upon it, and it did draw the crowd in more and more and more. So which was great.
We did that here where we hit my friend, I call him a nickname. He always wore his black cowboy hat. It's Cowboy John. So Cowboy John, come on up here, and had a little song for that. One of the places he was going to, which is really close to where he lives, so he could just walk there, was really convenient. They were doing, I think it was a Legion, they were doing a karaoke contest. They had each week, they had a winner, and each week's winner for, I think it was 5 weeks, won $100. Each one of those winners then came back for the big winner of those 5 for, I think they won then that, the ending one, 300. So there's been other places around that have done prizes. There's a bowling alley that did karaoke in Marion, which is not far from me. They were doing, I think, 2 different nights, and the big winner was getting $100, which they didn't really explain very well on their Facebook page. But yeah, that is something that is done around here. I did have an idea of like a singles karaoke night, but I couldn't get anybody. And that was when I would do the duets, is I would sort of be being Cupid, matchmaker. Would have been perfect at Valentine's Day. I got a lot of ideas. I'm an idea person. Getting, individuals that are single to come up and do a song together. So it's sort of like a mixer, meet other people, but you got to get a good sized crowd. So, if you're doing like 3 hours or 4 hours, you might dedicate it maybe the middle hour to it's Cupid's duet, mixer kind of meetup thing. So like I said, I've got a lot of different ideas. I just got to find a place that wants to give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of like answers Diego's comment where he said it feels when you're doing karaoke, it feels like you're just playing background music. But I guess some karaoke DJs do that, but those that, it's more popular, they bring more of a fun atmosphere or personality to the to DJ.
Yeah, like the one place, and it was just part of my shtick, is they had wing specials. So again, I'm always advertising, hey, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, all night long, we got wing specials. We got wings going out at 75 cents a piece until every last chicken in this town has been plucked. You know, like I said, I'm sort of joking with the people. You know, they had drink specials, so I was always making sure that they knew what was going on that night and coming up in the future.
You got to
Some
be a good
places had more
MC, from what I
activities.
noticed, Kevin. You got to be good on the mic,
Yeah,
because it could come out like that you're a little boring
yeah,
sometimes if you're not animate, you know.
yeah. So
So
that's
that's
one of the
why
things I did is I
I
was
can't do that.
very, yeah, I was very upbeat, having a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Now, when I do my voiceover, I'm very stoic, you know, and like, you know, but when I'm doing basically what I do when I invite someone, let's say you're next up, Will. All right, Will, come on down. You're the next participant here at karaoke night at the Crazy Fox, you know. And I do the Price is Right song, Come On Down.
Cool.
So like it's a game. And my regulars were like, well, why didn't you do it? Well, I was like, do you want me to do it the whole night? You know, especially the new people. I want to, if you're a new person, I want to make sure you get that special intro and come on down, you know, to that song, you know,
Or an
just like the
applause
show.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now later on, if you're one of the regulars, Cowboy John, he's like, well, you didn't give me my come on down music. Oh, I'm sorry. So I think there's some people that, you know, it makes them feel special. And it makes me better than some of these other ones where it's like, all right, Jim, it's your turn. Get up there and stand in the little square. You know, he doesn't do any kind of anything.
Yeah.
You know, he's just mailing it in. And he wanted to make sure, you know, that, you know, I guess he just feels he doesn't need to do it. I don't know. I guess I just want to show enthusiasm.
Mhm.
And I think
Yeah, you
karaoke
got
is
to keep
fun.
it lively.
Yeah. I want to sing? No. But I enjoy seeing the other people have a good time. Just like at the end of a regular DJ event or a bar where I'm just playing music. I love it when people come. They don't have to give me a tip. Just come up and like, man, we had a great time. Thanks. You know, that warms my heart. It doesn't pay my bills, but it warms my heart that I know that there was people out there that had a good time.
Hmm.
Because I understand where, you know, you don't really expect to have to pay money, but just, you know, an acknowledgement of like, hey, we enjoyed ourselves, you know, here. And when you get these regulars that come back, or you get regulars that go at the one place where they replaced me, and one of my regulars or some of my regulars went in there for this new person, and they went to the bartender and says, this guy sucks, we're not coming back. You know, that again makes you feel good.
Mm.
So
And it does make you feel good, but if they don't have you back, they don't care. I mean, the
I
bar's
know
looking for the cheapest deal. That's it.
that is
Um,
correct. They went with a family friend or someone who's probably getting paid maybe three digits,
the,
maybe.
the the American Legion that I used to do that, you know, do the karaoke. They went to more of a band set after they didn't want to do they didn't want to do DJs no more. They said DJs weren't bringing the crowd in. Well, okay, it wasn't open to the public. When they brought the band in, they opened it to the public. Oh well, yeah, you're getting a great crowd then.
Well,
So
yeah,
that I mean
open it
that
up
was
for
one
you.
thing. But here they found out a couple of the big shots in the club were taken off the top. So boom, they closed the club down for a bit. They reopened and then they called me and they said, hey, do you want to come back up and start doing karaoke again? I said, well, I'm definitely not doing karaoke. I'll come up, you know, my DJ, here's my price. Oh, well, you know, we're just starting over again because we lost so much money. We thought you could DJ for free. And I'm like, sorry. No, no,
Yeah.
no.
Hey, is that Clementine?
Yeah, it's my little Clementine, our little
Yeah.
mascot.
I was going to
She's
say
doing
she
it.
must be our unofficial timekeeper now. Took
Yeah,
over
she-
Buddy's
yeah,
She
job.
jumps
The,
up when it's quitting
The
time.
mascot.
Yep. But speaking
All
about
right.
Buddy and Diego, they had mentioned something about regulars at your karaoke event. Do they sing the same songs, or what is the trend with that?
No.
Yes. Unfortunately, yes. One of the guys, Cowboy John, he will vary his stuff. He does have someone that always sing, but he does like to step outside of what I've heard him hear before. Some of the other people, it's like, okay, well, I know what you want from week to week. You know, it's these songs here. Now, I guess I get it, but it's that's one of those times where you like to have fresh blood come in, and it's like, oh, hey, I haven't got to play that song for someone. Oh, this has been great, you know. So I do appreciate new people coming in. I always try to advertise. I post pictures on my Facebook. I post pictures on my Instagram. And then I will, as long as I'm working there, because I look at it as part of my providing service for them, I will post those pictures I took onto their Google photo page. You know, where you can like, hey, you know, would you be willing to put your pictures on here? It's like, yeah, those were pictures from XYZ bar, you know, and I'll put them out there. Now, if they decide to drop me from being there, I pull the pictures because I still have ownership of the pictures because I figure there's no point in having the pictures there for that bar if I'm not there anymore. So I pull them. If they're offended by that, I'm sorry, but I just want it to be accurate as far as, oh, this isn't what I'm seeing here. This is someone else. Oh, this is
Kevin,
what I expected.
Do you play song twice?
For karaoke, I will if it's early and late, but if someone's already put a request in and I haven't played it yet and someone else brought another request in, I'll go up to that person like, hey, the request is already in. Because I'm afraid that second person will feel nervous, more nervous, especially if the first person really knocked it out of the park. So I don't want that second person to look bad. I sort of do the same thing at weddings. Usually, weddings, I flat out don't play it again. Unless the bride comes up and requests it, then I'll play it again. And then I don't play raunchy songs at weddings. At KJ, I don't care. But I had someone, and I just flat out won't play this. It's at school events or weddings, WAP, which you know what it stands for. I won't play it. Well, I was doing a wedding. I guess it's been 2 falls ago, and I think it was younger kids wanted to hear that song. And it was like, okay, let me see if I got it. I wasn't going to play it, you know. Well, the bride come up, and she goes, "Yeah, can we hear this?" I was like, "Yeah, I already had that requested. I wasn't going to play it for them because you know they're not of age for that." Oh, it's okay. Okay. So the bride said, play it. So I was like, okay, I played it. Because I even if it's edited, I don't want to play that one. Flat out schools, I won't play that one. My schools are pretty lenient. They know I'm playing edited, but I flat out just won't play that one. And I get kids requests that. I was like, nah, I'm not playing that one. So I don't have a problem at karaoke playing it not back to back, or if I got it in the queue and someone else wants to add it to the queue. If it's early in the night and then later in the night, yeah. But I try not to hope that happens.
You know when you have a good karaoke singer, they have a wide variety of songs that they sing. They're not just walking in with maybe 4 songs, 5 songs. They have a library in their mind of what they could sing. I mean, the group that used to come in every single week, they would come in, they had their own index cards. There had to be, and they had 3 songs on them each. Some had 4 songs on each index card. And they had 40, 50 index cards. And they would just go through, somebody sang before them and they sang this genre. So, okay, Johnny usually sings country, but the person that sang before him sang from the 60s, or even like early 70s classic rock. So he would go through his cards and find a classic rock song. And again, he was so good, he did not even don't put the lyrics up. Like, I got this covered. I'm like, okay, no problem, Johnny. Boom, take it away, man. And he did, So I mean, that's when you have a great group of karaoke singers. They're not just walking in and saying, I think I could sing Johnny Cash. I think I could sing Waylon Jennings. I might be able to get Steve Perry out too. It's like, wait, here you call from Think?
Yeah.
Think? Oh, okay,
And so Dan had earlier had asked, what is the raunchiest, or have you ever had someone request a raunchy KJ song?
Me, yes, I did. And you know, as long as it was, you're in a bar, so anything basically flies there. So I, when I throw it on, that was it. And you know, if you have to dissect music that bad, if you're playing a bar, most people that come in there, they do they do swear, they do crazy things. So playing a song about whatever and in the mix there's some swearing in it, so be it. You're in a bar, there's people at the bar sitting there throwing the f-bomb anyhow, so what does it matter if it's coming out of the song, you know? It just doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
bars are sort of pretty much open-ended. Now, if it's more of a high-class restaurant slash bar,
Yes.
then no. But just a dive bar, rough house kind of thing, I don't worry about the karaoke. Um,
How
now I
many
still,
years you been
because
doing
I
it, Kevin? How many
what was
years?
that? Doing karaoke?
Karaoke?
Karaoke actually not that long. Actually, I sort of backed into it as sort of in a weird way. I actually was reaching out to see about doing trivia because that was something I thought was new and interesting. And one of the places reached out to me, I don't know, like a few months later, it's like, hey, yeah, we're looking to do the karaoke and we want to know what it would run. And it's like, well, I was in there for trivia, not karaoke. Let me see what I can do. So I have enough people that do karaoke that I could touch base with and see what's the going rate, what do I need, and a lot of that is just go on Google and look and read. It's like I knew I just needed basically a monitor. Everything else I already had. So after that, I went reached back to them, and it's like, okay, this much. Oh, yes, we'd like to start that. Oh, well, how soon? Oh, in a month and a half. So by that amount of time, I was able to get everything, all the resources I needed, which was mainly music. Because I knew about Carafun, but I didn't like. I guess I just didn't like going that route because I know one person asked about contracts around here and the other KGIs I deal with, no, you don't get no contract. I would love
Really?
to get a
It's word of
contract.
mouth?
Well, no, as far as contracts, as in, you're booked for the next 3 months. They're basically if we don't feel it, we're going to drop it. I've had that week to week, as Buddy put on there. So there is no real contracts in this. It's sort of a dog eat dog world.
And
If they don't
the
feel,
pays, I'm imagining it's between 200 and 500 a night.
yeah. Some of the guys I have gotten information as far as pricing, they're below that
Mhm.
for a few hours, and some are pretty much where you're at, pretty much almost bullseye. Well, you said 200 to 300.
Between 200 and 500. I mean,
Oh,
depending on the.
200,
No,
500. Okay.
no, no.
Mm.
150
The
to
high end
350.
I know of is 300 in my area. Now, like I said, I'm a very rural area. Um, I guess I don't know. It's not Columbus. My market is not Columbus, which is a big city. It's not Cleveland, which is where Dwayne is. Mine is, I don't know. I sort of give you information based on how many Walmarts are in the town. It's like it's got one Walmart. It doesn't have two, you know, or it doesn't even have any. The town I was from, it had one Walmart. The town I did it another time had one Walmart. The other town I've inquired about, it does have two Walmarts. So if you go by that, these are not huge markets. So it's very easy to price yourself out of having work. And so, like I said, there's no contract. And I have at one of the places we were successful early last year. Everything was great. All of a sudden, there was some hard feelings with one of the owner, or no, not the owner, manager and employee. Employee decided to leave, and then it's like after that, it was a ghost town. And so they decided to shut it down like in August. It's like, sorry, we're not making what covers your pay. So it was that disappointing. So it's like, okay. So they never did call me back. So it's one of those things where, and Eric can tell you stories too, and so can Matt. They're both dealing with inconsistency right now. Matt is having problems with the Legion. I think it's the Legion. They're doing a big fish fry for Lent. So as a result, that's more important because he's there on Friday. So he's not there for the next, well, I guess until what, Easter passes. So he's taken a hit. Eric has a lot of different venues that are businesses closing because it's in a rough area of town. So he's in a bad way. I'm not in a great way either. We're all having issues with just finances. So I think the economy and everything in my market is being impacted by the rising prices. I think certain other areas are not so much. It's even hitting the wedding industry in our area. So it's
Well,
unfortunate.
I'll tell you, Will's about 40 minutes away from me, and DJing and karaoke for a bar, an American Legion, a VFW, you're talking anywhere from 100 to maximum 300. But even at $100 and up to 300, they want you to bring everything. They want the lights. They want this. They want no, 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 no. This is what you're getting. End of story. Boom. I did have one bar reach out to me, and I knew what they were about. I knew how they paid. So he called me and he said, "Well, he's Mike." He said, "I give you 25%." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." I said, "I'll be up to talk to you." So I went up to talk to him. I said, "So okay." I said, 25%. Yeah. He said, "But," he said, "Now listen." I said, "Okay, so what's up, man?" He goes, "Well, it's 25% up to $150."
They capped you.
Yeah. So I said, "Okay." I said, "So if you only make $100 that night, so I'm only gonna get paid $25?" Well, yeah. I said, "No, no, no, it doesn't work that way." I said, "Here's what
There
I
should be a
get paid."
floor.
I said, "Here's what I get paid." I said, "I get 250 up front before I walk in the door with my equipment." I said, "I will walk in. You give me the cash money, no check, no nothing, cash money. I walk back out and I start bringing my equipment in." "Well, my other DJ charges only $100." I said, "Then why did he call me?" And I walked
Yeah.
back out the door. And then he called me about a month later. I got to 250. I said, "Price is now 400." That's it.
Yeah.
And he never called back again. And I was happy about it because
Yeah.
you start dealing with these people that they just want to screw you around. No, you can't do it. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I'm the place I was at where they let me go at least last August. I was working with them to the point where they would, because I had agreed to a set amount, and that was for 4 hours. I mean, it was 8 to midnight, so I did 4 hours. And what would happen is if it was really slow, they said, you might as well just quit at 11. It's like, okay. And with the first time they offered that, it's like, are you paying me the full amount? Let me get back to you. So the person come back. It's like, yeah, we'll pay you the full amount. So because again, very fair guy. Then the next week or 3 weeks later or whatever, oh man, could we do extra? Could we go another hour? It's like, yeah, sure. I won't charge you since I'm going to consider that extra hour that I didn't work or that area, that you shut me down early. I'm going to apply that. So, you're not taking a hit. I'm still getting exactly what I was supposed to do. Yeah, that day I went early. This day I'm going to go an hour later. So I rolled with that. So I wasn't being a hard ass. And the funny thing is, this place started back up again. This is the kicker. This is why I'm a little bit jaded now with KJ, or with a lot of different things. They started back up again with this guy that I was describing that doesn't do anything more than just say names. And I flat out asking because he's local here, and my friend wants me to pop in on occasion and watch him sing. So, how much do you charge? He charges more than what I charge, and he does it for only 3 hours.
mhm.
So they went
And
with
they're paying him
someone
that.
who's less energetic, does it for less hours, doesn't have he has problems with feedback too. Not as much, but I've heard feedback in the so like I said, it's like, and yet he doesn't do any announcements at the place I've seen him at for their, food and drinks service or specials or anything. So it's
What
like, wow,
one thing
I
I
I
always did too,
don't
Kev,
get it.
is I am always, especially the Legion, they would go through barmaids off and on. So I always went in and say, okay, well, it's a new barmaid. What's your name? Oh, my name's Jessica, and then I would give Jessica a shout out. Make sure you throw her a tip. She's working, she's slinging the drinks
Yep.
tonight, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
That was not a big plus. The place you're talking about, what type of establishment was it? Was it the American Legion, a VFW, or?
The one that let me go in August, it was a biker bar. It was a dive bar. Well, this is
Private
the
owner?
thing. Yeah, it's an individual owner. It's got a hotel above it. If I might as well just give out the name and just give them the raspberries. Supposedly the owner is actually trying to sell the property, but no one wants it.
Well,
it's a well-known establishment here. As far as, and then you were talking about uplights or lights. At this place, they had a big vinyl picture of this old time gangster. And for me, I uplit it with blue or red, or really made it look pretty. I thought it was quite cool. And then up where they were singing, I had just a uplight that was dancing to the music. So I didn't go crazy because I didn't charge them crazy.
Now,
So
Brian K.
Go ahead.
Hansher, he comes on your show a lot, doesn't he?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
he's on there. He's been on there. Yep.
I mean, he does a 12 penny lounge. He does another establishment down in Delaware. He does another one in Harrisburg, and he doesn't get paid much. I know that for a fact. But again, the only equipment he's taken in is his mixer, his controller, and his laptop.
Yeah.
That's it. So they have the sound system, they have the lights there, they have everything there, which is great for him. But then, like the places that I would go to around here, they have no sound system. And if they did have a sound system, I would go, like, say, if I was going to do the gig next Saturday, I would go this weekend to see who's playing, like whatever DJ is playing, and I would listen to what they have coming out, and then be like, oh no, I'm bringing my own stuff. I mean, it's a nightmare,
They got Gemini speakers.
Yeah. Well, I know the one bar had the Bose system through it, but they just abused it, and basically they blew out every speaker.
Yeah, this place, they have a sound system in there, and when I'm not actively going, they turn theirs up, and the one back where I was at had like a like almost like a rattle inside. So it's like, oh, this is jacked up. So
they bought them. Bartenders don't care, and they're just, it's not their property, so they don't care.
Yeah. I mean, that was even something I was looking to get into just to help, is possibly rent out equipment. But the problem with that is I don't trust people. So even if I rented it out, I'd still be sitting there babysitting it. So then it's like, is it worthwhile? I have trust issues, faith issues, maybe. I don't know. What do you want to call it?
And our timekeeper says time is up.
Yeah, I see, buddy.
Yeah, but let's get back to Kevin's question. Because the question that's on the wheel was, what would you rather DJ? A St. Patrick's Day event, New Year's Eve event, or Halloween?
Ooh. As far as the least amount of danger, I would say is probably Halloween. I think. Oh man. Because I thought you were going to add in Cinco de Mayo, because I had a place that was interested in doing Cinco de Mayo.
Okay.
And I've heard that's pretty popular too, even if you're not of the Mexican or Spanish descent.
Oh, let's make it any holiday. Could be Christmas or Valentine's.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's either probably St. Patrick's Day, and it probably depends on the place you're at. I mean, if you go a place that's like a pub or something that's in that realm, that might be worse than a New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, I don't know. I mean, the ones I've done have been pretty mellow.
They're long
Usually
though,
because
Kevin.
usually because Ohio State's playing on that night.
Those New Year's Eve gigs are long, man.
Well, what I learned with New Year's Eve, well, is they book you from 9 to 2, quarter after 12. Basically, there's 4 people left in there. By 12:30, it's you, the barmaid, and one other person sitting at the bar. I don't do New Year's Eve no more. I don't do not Valentine's Day. I don't do St. Patrick's Day. I have basically stopped doing bars for the last 8 years now. But the best thing is the best holiday to DJ is Halloween. Because
And adult.
everybody's there, they're festive and they're
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
fun.
Adult
it's
Halloween.
fun.
Not
They
not
want-
kids. Adult Halloween.
What was that, Will?
I said the adult Halloween parties are the best.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, going to a bar, even if it's a private event, you go. You did that Halloween event for me this year, didn't you?
No. We did. I don't remember.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I
you-
don't think so. I think I was at a. I actually did a bar.
Okay, yeah. It
this
was.
year.
I forget who the heck I had. I pushed that out to, because I was actually booked already, but the Halloween parties, people are dressing up. They're there to have a good time. Most, even if it's a private event, they have a competition for who has the best costume, who has the worst costume. But the thing is, I love. Can you dress up? Really? Oh, I got the perfect getup. What's that, Mike? What are you gonna be? I'm gonna be a DJ. They look at me, they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna dress up like a DJ. That's it. I mean, everybody knows you're having me there. So what do you want me to dress up like?
I thought you was going
I
to say
did.
marshmallow. That's what the moose does each year.
Oh God. I haven't, his videos keep popping up on my dang phone, and it's like, no, I just don't. He just got some kind of new piece of furniture in, and he literally destroyed it in the second video. I'm like, oh my God.
I want that guy to DJ my wedding.
Oh Jesus, I could imagine what that would be.
All right, so
I
let's
like the
let's
vibe.
head on out because we can be here for another.
Yes,
Was it
yes.
3 hours we were here last
Well,
week?
I don't go to sleep
I
until like
think
5
so.
o'clock in the morning usually. That's usually DJ hours.
Well, I'll be
So-
up at your house tomorrow, man. I have to go from my MRI up at Lehigh Valley Hospital up in the Pocono somewhere.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be by me.
Yeah. 12:30, I'll be there.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually did a Halloween, and it was I think it was at the it was a state lodge, and I had a good time there. I dressed up as, because I used to work at Menards, which probably Dwayne knows that place. The other
Yep.
two don't know that. Buddy knows that place. So I had the little vest and my name tag and everything. So I got the little jingle, and I would play that throughout the night as I was DJing music. So. So that was Save Big Money at Menards song.
Yeah.
So.
One of the best places to DJ that I found out, like a bar. It's a private bar. It's not anybody could just walk in. It's a membership. Is the FOP, Fraternal Order of Police. I mean, they have them throughout the whole country. Every time I DJ there, I got a little card, especially if I had a couple. Like I don't drink at all when I'm DJing, but if I came in there because my other buddy was DJing and I had a couple of drinks, I got a special card that gave me basically a free pass, unless you got in an accident. If it was just you got pulled over for something, you hand them the card saying that you're at the FOP tonight for this event. They let you go home, So it's like, okay, unless you're so intoxicated, they gave you a ride home.
And I guess if you're about ready to wrap up, if you guys got any further questions, reach out to Dwayne. You can, if you want to participate in our show. It's normally done on djntv.com/KJChill. Normally, we're supposed to do it on Monday at 7. Sometimes it gets shoved around because of the other two, Matt and Eric's work or, living around other things. So if you guys got questions, you want to participate, you can join in the chat. If you want to ask us questions, we can do a show about, anything and everything. So we've done quite a few shows of different things. So if you want to check them out, they are on YouTube. They're posting them on, I think, Audible. And I don't know if there's another podcast site, because now we've been instructed to keep them short to around, I think, 20 or 25 minutes. I guess that's how much time people are in a car, going from point to point.
It's like this show, Dwayne. We keep it at 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Times 5,
John Young runs a tight ship there, but he's great. He knows his stuff, and his sons are coming up. They're DJs too. But John's the one who runs DJ and TV, and he has a good thing going there.
Yeah. And as far, I don't know whether, I guess I might not answer your question, Will. I've actually only been doing this for about 2 or 3. It's just, it doesn't take long to catch on. And I think a lot of being a DJ helps to do the KJ. Being a KJ probably would help to do DJing, but I think it's more the DJ helps the KJ than the KJ helps the DJ, as far as, which one will help the other one if you haven't done the other one. So, but like I said, I ask a lot of questions. I do a lot of research. I tend not to pull the trigger until, I know my facts. Just the facts, man. Dragnet.
Yeah, if you hit that like button, we appreciate it. And Kevin, awesome job. I mean, your work with Eric Number, he's an amazing DJ and karaoke.
Oh yeah,
he's an amazing person, And
oh yeah.
I don't know if you ever met John Colley. He's another amazing DJ.
What about Halloween parties?
In person, no.
Well,
I don't get out. I don't get around much.
I haven't met any of them in person, but I've been going to the chill room since COVID, and they are a bunch of great guys. Hopefully this year, maybe me and Will could get down to Expo. This past year I had so much stuff come up, so I was out of the loop of that. The year before I was out of the loop. It seemed like since COVID was over, I had something going on every year, or something happened in the family, so I couldn't make it. So hopefully this year, keep my fingers crossed, everything will be a go.
I definitely learned a lot tonight. I'm leaving here today with a lot more information. I mean, I'm afraid to do karaoke, but now I know, a lot more.
It's so easy. You don't have to worry about matching BPM. You don't have to marry. Okay. This song was, it's this key or that key.
You just have to be good on the mic, though. You have to be really good on the mic.
Yeah, you got to be chatty. And the weird thing is I was very shy and quiet in school, in high school, and everything.
I still have.
But I'm for that I am outgoing. But if you see me in the store or whatever, I'll joke with people, but you have to sort of talk to me before I don't pester other people, But, in that situation, I'm having a good time. I'm there to have a good time. I'm there for you to have a good time. The only thing I do get is, just respect my equipment and keep the drinks away. That's part of the respect. If everything else, I'm easy with it. Go with the flow. Same thing at weddings, But if you guys, like I said, if you got any other questions, reach out. And I appreciate Dwayne. Although I guess I should say thank you to whoever asked Dwayne a question that saw the video, and Dwayne decided to reach out to me about doing a show. So I appreciate informing people of things. There's probably a lot more out there information-wise, but it's a good start what we did.
Yep. I was trying
to
go ahead.
Cutie pretty boy. I know I'm not in the chat. Mike is even on the top 3. No, I just, for me to type, my fingers are with the neuropathy. It's unfortunate. I have to keep looking down what I'm typing because I don't know what my fingers are hitting. So I might be typing and just hit enter, But going back to Kevin, you say that he's on top of the game when he's doing that. Honestly, I'm just such a quiet person, and I'm very shy. So Dwayne, you would agree with that, right?
I guess so.
Hey, I stayed awake tonight.
Yep.
That's right.
You helped me get you talked just long enough for me to get my, because I forgot to update some slides. So I was able to do that real quick.
I'll
So
be back.
said all of us DJs are smart in our own way. That's what Cool Thing said. Oh, I see Lil Records finally got into second place. So if he's in second, who's in third? Because the Shuffle Couple was there.
I just subscribe to those guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're interesting.
No,
Right.
TVM Productions is in
I think
third.
Buddy's in third. See, the longer we drag this out, the more everybody keeps yakking about something.
Uh-huh. All right. So this week's shout outs go to Kevin, our guest for tonight. And let me see. I think Will is still up here. Let me see. Yep, there's Will. Also, Will. Make sure you follow Kevin at DJK Productions. What's that? I can't. Is that LL Cool?
Oh, it's DJK Productions LL Cool K.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
That's at. Yeah, it's a little small. I can read it. I popped to that page.
Yeah, I tried screenshotting it. My screenshot didn't come in 4K. It was all blurry.
Okay.
And then we have Will. And you can follow Will on his YouTube channel at DJ Will _Silva. And then, let me see, get all that off. And our leaderboard from last week was number 1, DJ Cool Thing. Number 2 was at TBM Productions, DJ 1. That's Buddy. And then Kevin came in third, DJK Productions. And then Diego came in fourth at La Ruckus Inc. Adrian E. was our 5th place winner. The Shuffle Couple was our 6th place. And then DJ Shay came in 7th. 8th was DJ Dino Blend. And then number 9 was at Noel Rittenhouse. Oh, what happened to Mike? Did he?
Said he'd be right back.
Oh, okay.
He stepped away.
Did he go and get some food? Is he going to go eat dinner?
Well, it's the opposite of eat.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I see Shay had popped into the chat.
I think the Emodium is kicking in.
Yeah. It's that 3-day wait. So I guess I won't be. I'll be in last place next week. Oh, actually, I won't even be listed because I didn't put a chat in there. So.
Okay. And then if you
on
haven't
here.
followed us on our Facebook group page on Facebook, here's our long URL code. Or you can just go to Facebook and type in Cue It Up DJ Podcast in the browser, and you can join our private or public group. You can also join DJ Mikey Mike at DJ Mikey Mike on Twitter and Facebook, and at DJ Mikey Mike 45 on his Instagram. And then you can follow me on all of my socials at Hitman D Dub. And then we have this thing called the DJ Collective Network, where it's one culture and many voices. Let me make this smaller so I can see it better. So on Mondays, we have the Time to Spin show. For every DJ chasing dreams, no matter the odds, it's your time to spin with DJ Cool Thing. And then on Tuesdays, join Buddy and his weekly guest panel of DJs for unfiltered conversations that matter. The DJ Roundtable with Buddy from TBM Productions. And you can see that show live at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. And then also, if I didn't mention, DJ Cool Things show. You can catch him live now with his special guest, his weekly guest, at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on his YouTube channel. And then for Buddy, if you missed the live broadcast on Twitch, you can watch the rebroadcast every Monday at 1 o'clock on his channel, which is at TBM Productions DJ1. And then on Wednesdays, we have King's Court with DJ King James. His show starts at 8 o'clock, and then he has a special guest on at 9 o'clock. And I'm going to assume, did I miss his show this week?
No, he's at Disney.
No, he didn't have any show this week.
Okay.
He was out partying down with the wife.
Okay. It's like you get used to start watching shows, and then when shows don't come on, it's like, what am I going to do this side?
Yup.
But we have another show, and hopefully he'll be coming up with something new. We have the DJ Biz School with Sean, DJ Night Owl, and he discusses SEOs and marketing and branding. And when he's not doing that, he's making photo booths. So if you're looking to add some wow factor to your events, check out the beta booth from Photo Booth Direct Club. It's an upgrade. It has upgraded lighting and wiring, a mirrored faceplate that guests love, and it even comes in a rolling luggage style case to make setup a breeze. And the best part is that if you use our Cue It Up discount code, you can get $350 off the retail price. He also has the Sigma video guest book available for $795. You can get it in red, black, or white. And then Thursday, the busiest day of the week, you have the Cue It Up DJ podcast with me, the Hitman D-Dub, and DJ Mikey Mike, live every week at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then you can catch the Start to Spin DJ podcast also at 9 o'clock. And being that we go way past 10 o'clock, you can check out the Start to Spin DJ podcast with DJ Pretty Boy and DJ Shay. And then hop on over to our show, because we'll still be going strong, at 10 o'clock. And then Kevin, you can see him live every week on the KJ Chill Room karaoke chat with Matt and Eric. And you can join them live every Monday at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And you can do that by going to djntv.com/KJ Chill. And then our other friend at _DJ Reese _, he has a podcast for those DJs that DJ in the corporate arena called We Create the Vibe Podcast. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And make sure to like and hit the thumbs up on our video as well before you head on out.
Hey, buddy, remember tomorrow night, pizza, no meat. It's Friday for Lent.
And I think I changed the fade out message. I did. So the fade out message is, it doesn't matter whether you're a KJ or a DJ. Always strive to create moments where people feel comfortable stepping into the spotlight. So before we head on out, did anybody want to have any last comments?
I'd like to thank Kevin. Great job tonight, Kev. And also
Thank
for
you.
Will jumping into he's a great DJ, great friend. Yeah, I think we had a great show tonight. Again, we appreciate everybody for being here, commenting, and please hit that like and subscribe button. Also, if you could share our video, we appreciate it. Dwayne, again, I thank him for doing all the work from behind the scenes. God bless, man.
Thanks. And then Buddy wants to know that everything come out.
I just have to do a number one. That's it. I couldn't hold it. I was like, Too many iced teas today.
All right, and then let me see. Let's get through these chats real quick before we head on out. Look, Ruckus Inc. said, by the way, I got roasted on my own show for some weird hand movement. I thought they was talking about. I thought he was talking about his hoodie he had wore when he had did his review for the Rockville stands.
Was that his daughter's hoodie?
Yeah. So I gotta go make sure I go and jump and watch their show and see what they were all talking about.
Yes.
And Cool Thing says, fantastic show. Thanks. Pizza night tomorrow for Buddy. And thank you to your guests for showing love and knowledge. Yep.
You're welcome.
And Buddy said, great show. And that's it. I'm glad everyone was able to get something from our show, because that's the one thing I was kind of worried about, because sometimes when I get topics, I was like, nah, the other people won't actually watch our show, because if you don't do KJ, then I was like, is that going to scare them away? Yeah. Or like when we did the virtual DJ thing, that had a nice little, I think we had over 100 views on that one. I was kind of like surprised. It's like, it's
like that. I lost some weight. I lost about 28 ounces.
Whoa.
Pretty boy asked. It said, looks like Mike lost some weight after that. Yeah, 28 ounces.
Yep. It's one of those things where if you're already a KJ, or not a KJ, a DJ, it doesn't take much to jump into KJing. It's like, do I want to do it? Now, like I said, if you want to use that as a significant revenue stream that you're expecting, I don't know that I would expect that. This is more like extra money. I mean, if you have a regular job, or if you have your wedding and those kind of events are your primary, don't, and this is where I'm in the boat, don't count on them to be consistent. I've beaten the doors on, when I got dropped by some of these, just because one of them thought, oh, it's summertime, everybody's going to go up to Lake Erie and hang out up there. Well, that doesn't always necessarily pan out, but it's more like extra income. Don't look at it as your money to live on, because you can't count on it again, because there's no contracts. It's sort of we're going to skip this next week because it's a holiday or something like that, or Lent, like Matt got stuck in. So it's fun. If I could do it full time and get it consistently going at different places, yeah, I enjoy it. I don't want to sing, but I enjoy the fun banter that I get to do with everybody and having them sing. It's their time to shine, is what I like to say.
You know what's good about karaoke? You can sit.
Yes, that is the way I got it set up, because like I said, I have 2 laptops. I do have a booth, but I don't have the space with the mixer and everything to get everything to fit in that space. So I'm on a 6-foot table. I put it with a black drop cloth, so it doesn't look like crap. I don't go for janky. I will tell you one of these things. I don't know. I'm continuing on. One of the things we discussed wired microphones, and for the most part, the monitor I've been doing wired. I told the guys about a wireless system that's HDMI. They went out and bought the one that I recommended to them. They have loved it. It's not cheap, but if you're going to be, and this is one of those things where, again, it can come back and bite you if these bars like, yeah, we'll start it up, and then they shut you back down. So then you've eaten just short of $300 for one receiving unit, or no, not one receiving unit, one transmitter unit, which you plug into your laptop into an HDMI, and then you can get 4 receiving units. So you can put it in the one TV that you're using for the monitor, and then you can plug it into theirs if they have some in the venue, and then they'll have everybody having the words so they can sing along. The bars I was at, they like, oh no, you can't touch our TVs, So I didn't buy it. I did buy a less expensive one receiver, one transmitter version, and I used that at an event. Unfortunately, my karaoke was only an hour long and it failed. The monitor went blank. So I had to diag what was going on, and come to find out it was the unit. It was just overheating and kicking out. So it got sent back to the big A. So that is something if you want to look at to eliminate cords. I eliminated the HDMI cord and I eliminated the electrical cord going from wherever the monitor was sat to wherever the outlet was, because I had one of these little power banks, but this is a Ryobi based one. So it's running off the 40-volt battery. I just set it right underneath, plugged everything straight into that. So I could basically move the monitor wherever I wanted. The only thing they could trip on would then just be the legs of the speaker stand that it's set on. So I made it so that it was wireless, the whole thing.
Yeah, I'll just say, like, I know you said, you're going through some tough times now. So is Eric, so is the other gentleman. But I'll tell you one thing, since COVID, everything has changed. Weddings, everything. I mean, bars now that used to be open to 2 o'clock, they're closing at 11 o'clock. Some are
Yeah.
closing at 9 o'clock. So I mean, it's not. It's just the general public it has been affected by that coronavirus, and I mean,
yeah.
it's sad. I mean, it just really it destroyed so many different businesses, different ways of life. I mean, people today they rather sit at home and drink, which
Yeah.
hey, it's more
It's
more
cheaper.
cheaper, it's inexpensive for them, and they
Yeah.
don't have to worry about getting a DUA or having a person picking
Exactly.
them up and dropping them off, or yeah,
Exactly.
it's
Because I
just
think that's what a lot of the cops around in these communities do. They wait, and all of a sudden they're thick as thieves around 2, 3 o'clock,
oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
and
So
and
I
it's
mean,
like people's like, no, I'm not going to risk it, so I'll just stay home and do it at home.
I mean,
And with
every
Carafun, now they can just invite some people over, and it's like, hey, I mean, I basically, my regular cowboy John, he wanted to watch the Super Bowl, and he invited me over, and it's like, hey, would you mind bringing the setup? It's like, yeah, it doesn't take much. Like I said, I only bring one, and he's got a little apartment now. So it's just one MLS 900, and it was plenty loud. And I just sat with a little coffee table there, and we just before the game and then at halftime. And I think he was more interested in doing karaoke, so we muted the TV. I watched the game, and he just sang.
yeah, I mean,
So
it's just when I was doing karaoke, my time slot honestly was from either 9 to 1 or 10 to 2. And the bars here in Pennsylvania close at 2 o'clock.
mhm,
So I mean that was my time slot, and they had nothing before me. It
mhm,
was just now even bands playing. The bands are starting at 5 or 6, and they're playing to 8:30. They're playing 2.5 hours, maybe
yeah,
3. If they may get a time slot from 5 to 8.
yeah,
Bars aren't open past 9, 10, 11. 11 o'clock is
yeah.
the max.
It's almost like the whole world has become a senior citizen. Oh, it's time for me to get home and go to bed. It just all the towns are just rolling up the sidewalk, and we're home. I mean, even venues. I know my uncle, he used to do a lot of weddings. We're just rambling on, I'm sorry. That he'd go midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Now it's like the venue's like, no, no, you got to be out at 10, you know,
Yeah.
or
Well,
11, and you got to clean up from 10 to 11 because we're not cleaning up. You got to clean up after yourself.
here
So
in
it's
PA,
just totally different.
here in PA venues, basically you book your wedding from 5 to 10, 4 to 9, whatever. Usually it's a 5 hour gig. That's it. If you wanted to go
Yeah.
over, then you have to pay prior to the event. You have to tell them, no, we're going to have a 6 hour reception. Where
Yeah.
you never see a 7 hour reception, but there's restrictions on, ordinances on sound. Anything after 10 o'clock, it has to be less than 70 dB.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just talking like this. So, why
Mhm.
even have a DJ? Why
Yeah.
extend your reception to after 10 o'clock because you can't even hear the music because people are talking, so
And
it's just,
drinks are so expensive nowadays. What
oh,
people do is
God.
they usually have like a couple of shots before they leave the house. They take an Uber to the bar and then they just have one big drink. It lasts them the whole night, and the bars are not making the same amount of money as they used to be.
No.
And then
And
that's why they
Ubers
don't
are
want to keep you
expensive, too.
around. Yeah.
Yep.
Ubers are extremely expensive.
All right, so let's get on out. But going back to
Yes.
the wireless, this is what I had picked up. These off of Amazon.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
it'd be funny if they're the ones I got and yours work, but
Yeah,
Those are
mine's
HDMI?
work. I know you can get, they came in like this, or you can get the ones where they have 3 more of these or 4 more of these. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking it's the same one. Because I want to say, I was on the show when we were talking about it.
oh, okay. Does yours have a little flip up thing on the transmitter receiver? A little thing that pops
Oh,
up?
no, that
Oh.
mine doesn't.
No, okay. It's not the same as the ones that guys bought.
Okay.
Like I said, I bought like yours, but I bought I think one that was like $50. I always go for the good reviews, but I got bid on this one. So.
And then since I was using the Mac when I first started, like when I did the video, I just got a Apple the Apple Play thing, the video play that it's like a little square puck thing. I forget
Oh,
what
okay.
Apple thing that you just put there and you can what is it, screen capture? You can like transmit wherever's on your computer to that Apple device.
Oh,
thing.
okay. Yeah.
So that's why I used.
You could have like one transmitter and like multiple receivers, like multiple
Yes.
TVs.
Mhm.
I've seen up to 4. There might be some that out there that got more, but like I said, my situation was I couldn't really use it at the bars I was at, so I had my own monitor for them. Wasn't a huge one. Mine was so old it was actually still had the VGA. So, but it's like I don't need something fancy. And my friend, he had some knucklehead, kicked his doing like a somersault and kicked it and knocked the whole thing kicked the big star in it. So he had to go out and buy another one. So I bought this at one of these shops that takes an old corporate and school, university equipment that they don't want anymore. So it's but like I said, it worked perfectly fine. And in the bars I was at, they didn't want you touching, hooking into their TVs. So it's like, well, all right.
Right.
So right now, like I said, the one I got failed me. So at this point in time, I'm back to just going hardwired, but I'll try it again.
Yeah, I always go, if I can do it, I'll do hardwire. But wireless is convenient, but sometimes I'm always worried about it not working or something hiccuping.
Well, yeah, that's the one I run into. Now, my biggest concern is I knew there was latency. So because I bought it, I ended up taking it to my friends that want to do that Super Bowl party. So it's like, hey, yeah, sure, I'd love to. I'm going to hook up to your TV and use that wireless thing, and you sing. And he was bringing some other people over. So I didn't even tell him that there was a possibility of latency. It's like, how was it? How was the experience? Everything seem okay? Yeah. What are you talking about? It's like, nothing wrong with the sound versus the lyrics. What do you mean? I said, well, supposedly there could be a little bit of latency. So I was a little concerned about that because I didn't want, that is like, oh no, there was no problem. And the other ones that sang too said, no, there was no issues. So it's like, okay, it seems to be okay. Because I didn't want to create a solution, but then create a problem, then I would just stay with the wired. And like I said, try to keep everything like the speaker stand right beside the table and everything. So
Because if you think about it, it's not line of sight because it's in the back.
Yeah.
I think Buddy has something wrong with his keyboard. I can't make out what he's typing. I see that
something about
goes,
Apple.
Wow. Can you
Something
make out
about
what
Apple?
I know they're talking about PC versus Apple. They were going back on laptops. And then that was an Apple Play that I was trying to describe. And then he had said something about me being the quiet one of the pack.
What was Buddy's comment? Because I can't read it on my screen here because it looks like I don't know.
Oh.
Dwayne's the IT department.
He's putting the slides together as we talk, is what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and I
even
forgot to
though he's
mention.
being quiet.
Also forgot to mention we still got our playlist from last year.
Playlist from
Buddy, I have
last year.
never had a Mac overheat on me in my life. I'm Mac and PC. I'm bilingual, but believe me, I never had a Mac overheat. I had PCs overheat. I had PCs crash. Never had a Mac crash. Never had a Mac overheat.
I think I did when I was outside at one time. I think I did one time.
I had a cooler.
Yeah, I have a cooler for mine, and I don't even use a cooler now on mine. I just, well, that's it. I just keep a fan blowing air on it. You know, even though it's hot out, just blowing that air, circulating that air. That's it. You know, you're good to go. But PCs, and especially if you have an AMD, forget about it. You're going that. I had three AMDs, all three crapped the bucket. They burnt out the motherboards.
I will say, since you're talking about overheating, every so often, and I do it with my desktop too, I got a good size air compressor. You can use canned air, just where those vents are. Give it a little toot.
Oh yeah.
You know, just desktop the same way, because you got it gets heat and dust in there. There's dust bunnies everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, so I see that we had it. I see you passed that 2-second mark, so we get to go to another topic. So
me?
Yeah, because I'll always wait until I get that quiet pause. I'll be like 1,000, 2,000. So you passed it. So
it's like when the popcorn popper is popping, and it's like, oh, it's time to stop. Hit the off button for the microwave.
All right, you go ahead, Mike. Then we head on out.
Okay. Going back to the PC, Apple thing. Again, I'm Apple. I'm PC. I use both platforms, but I've never had a problem with my Mac. Never had a crash on me. Never had it overheat.
You know it's going to happen this weekend, right? You know it's going to happen.
I know. I have
Karma.
another Mac to back me up, and I have another Mac to back up that Mac. So I'm not worried about it. But the thing is, I'm not pushing down anybody's throat not to use a Mac, not to use a PC, or use a Mac over a PC. It's whatever you could afford.
Whatever works for you.
Yeah, what works for you. I mean, the Macs have lowered their prices so much. I mean, but the newer Macs, the M5 Macs that are coming out, I think they said like the top M5 Max that was going to be like six grand now, which that's extremely high. But you're talking like, I forget how much RAM's in it.
I think minimum should be 16 at least.
Well, the RAM in this one's like, I mean, it's ridiculous. There's no possible way. You could probably run the Disney servers off of it. You could probably create a 3D animation off of this computer. I mean, there's no possible way you need that much more DJ. There is no reason to buy something like that. I think Virtual DJ says you need 4 gig of RAM, 8 if you're running, well, if you're using a PC, I think it's 8, and then you have to have your own graphics card. If it doesn't have its own graphics card, forget about it. You're not doing stems or anything live. Mac, you're doing stems no matter what, even if you have the M1, because it's just so much quicker. It's unbelievable. And then you have to move up to the gaming laptop if you want to do stems live. So you're going from a regular laptop, which is probably about $600-700 now. Maybe just a good laptop is about $800. But then if you're moving up to a gaming laptop, you're talking $2,500. You look at an M1 MacBook Air now is probably about $500, if that. If you go up to MacBook Air M4, I think you might be paying like $1,200, and that is quicker than any mid-range gaming PC, you know, and you're at not even half the cost of the gaming PC. You're going to pay about $3,000 for that gaming PC, and you're going to pay about $1,200 for the Mac, if that, you know. So it's just, it's what you could afford, what you want to work with. Their systems now have become so alike but disalike with their M1 chips and the PC still with the Intel. So that's the only really difference. I mean, and the buttons are on the opposite side. That's it, you know.
All right, so let's get ready to head on. No, we get ready to head on. I see Mike is looking at the comments. I don't want him to get started. So I see you all next week. I hope you all have a great weekend. Make sure you go out there and crush those gigs.
I'll save that comment for next week.
I know. And again, check out our Time to Spin Irish Hits. I'll repost it in our Facebook group page of all those Irish, our top, I think it's 25 Irish, top 25 songs for St. Paddy's Day. So hope everyone have a great weekend. See you all next week. Make sure you check out all our shows. And remember, before it's time to spin, you got to first cue it up. All right, take care, y'all.
Practice and enjoy.
Good night.
I rise like the sun while the world still sleeps. Scouring the sights looking for new leads. Marathon gigs with no in between. Your worth is from a rear view they seen. They want to party, but I'm battling fatigue, chasing passion while my mental is still out on leave. It's an everyday hustle, so respect the DJ life. We make it look easy, but the pressure's tight. Cue up the pressure. Got a story to tell. Dreams in the booth where the DJs dwell. Clubbing is a struggle like it's all I've got. Set it up, break it down, travel to the next spot. Ambitions, the engine stay sharp like a tool. Revving through my gigs, power drinks is fuel. It's an everyday hustle, we'll respect the DJ life. We make it look easy, but the pressure's tight. Pressure. Cue up the pressure.